Dude, I don't. Where have you got this from? What's going on? Are you in my house?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I'm at your house. Good evening, race fans. there's more Ryans than not Ryans in the booth right now, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
So, hey, welcome to Lemon's iRacing. We're live. Ryan Lewis just joined and got thrown right into the middle of insanity, so sorry about that. I'm Eric Rude. I am the everything bagel with the 24 hours of Lemons. We are at Sonoma for iRacing on this lovely Saturday night, and joining me is Cameron Aubernon, as usual. How you doing, Cameron?
Hey, I am all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Mental Ward is absent. Will be here shortly. And of course, joining us, our guest this weekend, Ryan Lewis, professional race car driver, athletic director of the Tim Richmond Performance Institute. Is that right, Ryan?
Good evening, America. Yes, that is correct. I've been in charge of the Tim Richmond Performance Institute since its inception, which was January 2020 when I bought this house.
It's totally not your basement, as I understand.
No, it's my basement. It's okay. Yeah.
So why Tim Richmond? As long as we're going right to the big questions.
I mean, he was definitely focused on human performance in all manners. He was a very multi-dimensional athlete, so I thought that was a suitable person to go for. And he knee-high socks, rode a motorcycle, jean shorts. What's not to love, you know?
Yeah, that checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
So you're new to the Lemons iRacing, I assume. Basically, we have a whole 3-class, multi-class racing with weird classing and terrible cars, and nobody really cares who wins. Mostly, we just want to see people with Ralph Wiggum on their Miata, as Michael Pullen has done here. So, Ryan Bauer, our esteemed producer, always excellent at finding us all of the great liveries that people come up with, and that's pretty spectacular.
So technically, if you have an iRacing membership and maybe you have some decent pedals and a decent wheel and a bunch of flat screen TVs and stuff, is there a good chance that your sim racing habit will be more expensive than your Lemons habit?
Oh, unquestionably. Yeah. I mean, well, the iRacing thing, it's mostly man, 2 Simpsons in a row. That's amazing, by the way. The Skinner's old-fashioned team names. But it is a setup cost with the iRacing, whereas in Lemons, you running races is a bigger cost more of the time, but you can do with the iRacing more. So I don't know, probably a wash.
There's less of a barrier. I mean, do you need to pass like a background check to enter a circuit for a Lemons weekend or anything like that, or would that thin the herd out a bit too much?
Oh man, we would have like 7 people there. Yeah, we couldn't actually hold a race if we did that. Yeah, all you need to do to race in Lemons is have a driver's license and theoretically a pulse, but I always have some questions about that. So, yeah, that's and a winery, Chateau de.
Oh, there's another wine-themed car on the track?
Well, the beautiful part about iRacing and sim racing in general is, like all incredible sports.
I mean, if you are going to celebrate in those means, try and keep it slightly more masculine on a screaming point.
We should explain to Ryan.
I know what it is. I know what it is now.
Yes. Yeah. We thought you would catch on eventually. Yeah. That is the your
rather
coaching review. Yes, coaching review of Nate Schleveen, who is our mad scientist in charge of planning these races. He submitted a video for your review of his winning Class B by having another car.
I don't know. Sorry if I butchered your name there, Nathan.
Sorry,
maybe consider changing that for the future. A bit more easier to pronounce,
playing
like
my
Jones.
own voice back to me.
Something
I try
like
not
that.
to listen to what I sound like. I'd rather not.
think
But
we
I
made our
suck.
point.
I get it. I suck. Thank you. Can we move on?
No.
Anyway, that is one of the most fantastic pieces of Lemon's video of all time is your critiquing of him as a professional, and then also chopping him at the knees in the most entertaining way possible, which qualifies you to be a Lemon's judge in real racing as well.
It's
Real
super
Lemon's
easy.
racing.
It's super easy to be rude to people via the internet. It's a miracle of technology. You can pretty
It
much
is.
say whatever you want. Right? It doesn't really, what they're gonna do. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it depends.
Yeah.
Unless you get a bit QAnon about it, people start doing things. But I don't know. There's not too much of a crossover here, is there? With that?
No, I don't.
Should be
I don't-
okay.
I think you're probably all right. And like I said, the beauty of being a 24 hours of Lemon's judge is you also get to be rude to people to their face, and there's a certain kind of enjoyment out of that. You know,
To their face.
to their
Well,
face. Yeah.
When does that happen?
I'm happy to have you come judge a Lemon's race. You live in Indianapolis, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, so you can come up-
One of the world centers of racing, because it seems there's a few places that claim to be the world center of racing. So it's under dispute, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we race at Gingerman and Joliet at Audubon, so happy to have you there. We can talk about that off air post race, but
Sure. We'll set a deal up.
that's right. Pro racer Sarah Montgomery also has judged a Lemons race and found she works at the Porsche Experience, where she, well, I really don't want to throw her under the bus, but she teaches new 911 owners how to drive their car.
Yeah.
Kind of a terrifying proposition, but she found it very cathartic, I think, to be a Lemons judge and tell people to their face all of the things she's probably wanted to tell 911 owners. So she enjoyed that.
Yeah, I know how that feels. It is very cathartic when you can start to really rip into someone, but at the same time they kind of enjoy it.
Yeah,
Because there is an element of that. It's a bit trickier to do that to some wealthy guy sometimes. I don't know. I'm 37 now. I've been around the block a few times, so I'm somewhat immune to getting fired from some manufacturer stuff because I'm somewhat valuable. So I can rip into people occasionally if they deserve it.
Yeah, I believe you explained it to me as you're a race car driver. You're very important, and
Yeah, extremely important.
It sounds like perhaps our other host, Christian Mental Ward, is here. Mental, is your internet functional in Las Vegas?
Yes, finally. And then, of course, Discord had 37 updates. And, while I was there, I just went ahead and did the Adobe Acrobat updates. So that's why I started this at 4 o'clock. So that's why I'm just not
You're
gonna
installing Windows 11 as we speak, I assume.
Exactly. It was great, though, because right as I popped into the broadcast booth, Ryan Lewis was there talking, and I'm sure we've already made all kinds of jokes about his accident, but he was talking about tearing into someone, and I felt like I had literally signed into the Monty Python skit where, I'm sorry, I'm here for an argument. No, this is abuse. I'm just going to tear into somebody.
Yes. It's where I did go to school in Cambridge as well, where a lot of the Pythons went to school. I didn't go to university in Cambridge though. Just high school.
You're not supposed to say that part out loud. You're supposed to just, say you went to school in Cambridge and leave it at that, right?
I don't know. I lie enough already. I'm over it.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of Smiths on one car.
Yep.
That took me a second.
Robert Smith.
Arrow Smith,
Morrissey,
Agent Smith,
Aaron-
and Nicole Smith, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Dr. Smith, Robert Smith
This
from The
is very
Cure,
well done.
Kevin
It's
Smith.
because because he shows up, Al Smith always shows up as all the Smiths.
The Smiths, Will
The
Smith,
Smiths.
Jacqueline Smith. Good stuff.
Oh,
Jacqueline Smith, the best of the Charlie's
Yes.
Angels.
Yes.
Jacqueline Smith, the one with the Pinto, or was she the one with the Mustang 2 Cobra?
No, Mustang 2 Cobra was Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Smith got she had the Mustang 2 Ghia.
Oh, okay.
The runabout was, darn it,
Oh, he did.
Oh no, Giga Blast.
He gone.
Indeed.
What happened?
So we've already sworn that we would just get this out of the way, Ryan, and make a
What now?
no Macklemore jokes declaration, because I'm sure you've never heard that before.
No, you can make as many jokes. I sold that guy my domain name, so whatever. It's all good.
Well, what was your best thrift shop find then?
I leave that up to the wife. My wife's like addicted to thrift shops, etc. So not me. I try not to fraternize places like that.
Oh.
I think that's a weird thing though. It's like, yeah, let's glorify things. Let's go to a thrift shop and get a fur coat. It's like, I mean, I'm sure somebody has seen a big fur coat at a thrift shop before, but what kind of condition that fur coat is going to be in? I mean, it's probably like someone's dog's been sleeping on it for the last 20 years or something. I mean, it's just, the music industry gone mad as usual.
With the rise of your what do they call it? Resale shops or vintage clothing instead of thrift shops. The good stuff actually gets taken to those places, and the your typical $7 Goodwill coat in and of itself is either comically oversized or quite frightening.
Yes. Well, you know what? I think the last time I actually went in one, I was in Monterey for Pebble Beach, and I think in Salinas. I was like, maybe Salinas or maybe in Monterey. I went to the Goodwill because it was next door to Best Buy. I was like, maybe there'll be something in here. You never know.
Yeah.
And no, it was terrible. It's the same Goodwill. I mean, Goodwill's the really bad one. That guy, the guy that owns Goodwill, and like it's a not-for-profit, but he like rolls around in a Rolls-Royce Phantom.
Yeah, my wife has actually banned us from going to Goodwill.
They are particularly
for exactly that reason.
Yeah, that company in particular is pretty bad, but they're all a bit dodgy. Like Salvation Army is a bit moody.
Yeah. We had in Atlanta where I lived and here,
pinata,
but
I was about to point out the Spec Pinata. That's a excellent theme right there.
That was my second ever Lemons car in Meat Space. We did a Spec Pinata. Here in Atlanta, there were just a handful of them that were dedicated to specific charities, and the one we went to and donated most of our stuff to was a dog rescue charity. And I think, at most they had a new Subaru, so we didn't mind shopping and giving them our stuff. And in Las Vegas, you get a lot of the faith-based thrift shops, one-offs.
Happy birthday, Eric Hesser.
Yeah, it's Eric Hesser's birthday.
Oh,
happy birthday,
Eric.
Hey, Eric.
No pedal, no wheel mafia.
There's nothing in the window, Eric. And you close the window, Eric. What?
Well, it's cold. It's winter.
He's in Wisconsin. It's cool.
No, he's but the shades. Normally the shades are. He's laughing because he knows. Normally the shades are open and there's a dragon or some sort of elf or garden gnome in there.
Shame. For shame, Eric. Discredit. Just kidding. Happy birthday to Eric Hesser, one of the best Lemons racers using an Xbox controller during iRacing.
And
not a bad Lemons racer in Meat Space either. Quite talented and skilled.
Back to back, our Road Wrangler Cup winner.
That is right. Indeed. So of course, this is still practice for the main event. Before we get started, Ryan, we have a tradition wherein we don't actually give a crap who wins the race. We just pick a number between 1 and whatever the highest number of people we have is, which I think is
27.
27. So pick a number between 1 and 27, Ryan.
Between 1 and 27.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody I raced against that I hated with a passion. Because I'm guessing. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
6.
6. All right. So
Number
the real
6.
winner tonight is car number 6, or whoever finishes in 6th.
Oh no! Wait, they win? No.
Yeah.
All right, I picked the wrong way. Hold on.
Then just flip it to 9. Oh.
So what do they win?
There you go.
Nobody wins anything. It's just
Yeah.
we declare them the victor.
Skippy tumbled.
That's pretty in line with the rest of motor racing, to be honest. No one
Yeah, it's you know, the person who invented lemons has described motor racing as a totally made up problem that has a bunch of made up solutions. I think that's frighteningly accurate.
Yeah.
And then he described Lemons itself as an organization that views a competitive attitude as something that can be treated.
Very good. I don't know. Well, I've never been to a lemon. I've seen plenty of Lemons content on YouTube, of course. Some of my favorites. But I think it's the only thing similar that I have actually raced it. I did a champ car race at the Speedway. Was it last year or 2 years? I can't remember now. But never done Lemons.
At Daytona?
IMS at Indy.
No, they did a couple races at.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did do Indy. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's like that, but with a whole bunch of crappy back markers too. You know,
yeah. Well, I was going to say it's definitely seemed like I was under the impression it was like we're not supposed to take this too seriously.
That's
but
right.
Then there's a few people definitely taking things a bit too seriously.
And they really stand out in those kind of events where no one else is taking it seriously, and it's the parent that just yells a little too much during that Pee-wee football match.
Yes.
The Little League dad. Yeah. He's always the Little League dad's always around, and
karting dad.
Karting dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go through the whole karting rigmarole?
I didn't know. I was supposed to, and then the year I was supposed to start racing cadets when I was like 9 or 10, a young lad called Daniel Spence died. He was racing a cadet in Bolton. He died. My dad was like, "No, it's not happening." So no karting. I did like indoor karting forever, but I didn't do my first car race until I was 13. I did this like young driver sedan series in the UK. So I didn't do any of the go-karting stuff. My dad probably did himself a favour there as well. He would have lost his mind having to deal with that.
Yeah, or worse. I mean, we've seen. We were at NOLA for a race last year, and the repo guy showed up to take somebody's karting rig out of the race that was there that weekend.
Wow.
Oh, this guy, he showed up looking like a overweight special operations guy, blacked out, full tactical vest, and he had a made up. He had a made up. Gravies, that's a good one. Or what was oh damn it, I heard another good one too. But one of those. But Gravy Seal and
Meal Team 6.
Meal Team 6, that was the other one. Yeah. So, and he had a made-up badge that literally just said Security Patrol. And the tactical vest, the boots, the SWAT pants, the whole 9 yards, and he comes strolling up to us. And he's like, I'm here to repossess a car. And our instant reaction is clearly in the wrong place because no one wants any of this crap back.
Yeah, that's a high-level troll job by someone. Repoing someone's Lemons car.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's collateral on someone's house.
Which, by the way, if anybody there is out there looking to get that Where Halloween Meets Gasoline trophy, if you want to be the team that takes it too seriously and actually hire someone to repossess your car, you would get noticed.
There's a certain dedication to having a Jerry Springer-style paddock wherein you're screaming and shouting and chair throwing, and somebody is taking the car on the hook.
I'm sure you could probably find like a cheap polygraph somewhere. You could do the Maury Povich and start doing.
And you are not the owner.
Yeah.
Yay.
You really don't need a polygraph. You just need one of the old what are they? The things with the sine wave that you used.
I'm pretty sure that is
oscilloscope.
Yes. God.
Yeah, oscilloscope.
Yeah.
The only person left that has an oscilloscope is Phil. No one owns an oscilloscope anymore, except for Phil. He's got one in his garage, I'm sure.
You know what? I saw one at a swap meet once, and it just happened to be at an American Motors car show, of course. And there was one called the Analoscope, but it unfortunately was just analoscope.
Whoops.
And it didn't quite come across in the exact same way that you would think an old oscilloscope would. So.
Or you could get one of those Scientology e-meters.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's a theme.
Get them on the cans.
Yeah.
All right. 10-1 that all the Smiths Pontiac is going to get black flagged.
Ed Smith with the Daewoo Jetta.
Woo!
So I should ask, you say my role is as a judge. What am I supposed to be judging? Am I supposed to judge anything? Or
there's two parts to it. One of them is we get these cars that show up and they claim to be, I paid $500 for them. So you kind of grill them on the $500 thing.
I see.
But more importantly, and where I think you would shine is when people make mistakes, they come to the penalty box and then the judges get to ridicule them and mock them and make them feel bad. Because as we've discovered, and I think this is Carl Jung, I think it was, one of the early pioneers of psychology discovered that the most effective form of getting people to not do things is to make it hurt. And we can't physically harm people, so we just
we say that.
Yeah,
words of violence.
Yeah, words of violence get the job done.
So you want a bit more like a Gordon Ramsay vibe.
Yeah, you can. I mean, everybody kind of brings their own persona. I have the disappointed dad. That's mine. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
But you have the English accent, which you can either charm them into feeling bad about themselves, or just go straight Gordon Ramsay on them.
Yeah.
Just less.
Ask them if they're an idiot sandwich.
Yeah. Donkey. Calling people donkeys is always quite good.
You can only call people donkey with an English accent. It doesn't really work coming with an American accent.
Yeah, it doesn't. The timbre doesn't really.
Especially if you're Southern. You're a donkey.
Yeah, you're a donkey. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. I see what you mean. So how long is this race, by the way?
This race is 80 minutes, and there's a race afterwards that is Rallycross with the street stocks at the Phoenix Rallycross. You don't have to stick around. You can stick around for as long or as little as you'd like, and we would totally understand if you just GTFO'd because we're a bunch of weirdos. But
absolutely. And we need to ask you who your favorite Eastern European dictator is.
My favorite?
Yes.
Are we currently alive, or
sure? Why not?
All of history.
Yeah.
Dead or alive?
In all of history.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. I mean, Gorbachev was, he seemed like he was a fairly.
I don't think he qualifies as a dictator. He kind of gave up control of his country.
Yeah, so that's why. So that's why he's
why he's the favorite.
That's why he's the favorite, because he's ushering it out.
Fair enough.
I mean, you have to. There's elements of it you have to respect Putin's game, right? Because he's, effectively the wealthiest person on the planet. You just don't know where his money is. He has now been in office, essentially in power, for nearly 30 years.
Why does Wells Fargo keep calling me?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to my wife as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So objectively, I mean, it probably would be Putin, just because. I mean, you have to think that there's probably some heads of state from various other countries that just kind of look at him and they're like, "Man, I wish I could do that."
Yeah.
I wish I could just get away with just like, no. Yeah, so I guess Putin's he's the GOAT, isn't he? Really, he put everyone to shame.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of it. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel like a lot of history overlooks how effective Tito was.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he was the guy that just stared the big Russian bear in the eye and went, "I'm going to do what I want."
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do my own thing over here. That is true. Yeah, Yugoslavia was an interesting kind of deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had a massive air force as well. They did some cool stuff with airplanes. Other than that, not so great. And then the whole Yugoslavia deal kind of went tits up, didn't it? But
Well, once Tito died,
wasn't great,
Yeah,
yeah.
no one could keep all that stuff together.
yeah, that's the thing sometimes, isn't it? You need the strong man to keep everyone together.
Yeah.
that's the horrible part of it, isn't it?
Muammar Gaddafi.
By the way, it's about time for one of our reads. So this broadcast is brought to you by the real purveyors of bum wine, Mad Dog 2020. And last we checked, it's still more or less the year 2020. So scoop up some gold limited edition Mad Dog 2020 to nurse you through another horrifying election cycle. It's Mad Dog 2020 in 2022.
For Senate.
There you go.
Man, I haven't had a 2020 in a long time.
You know what? I had a sip of the gold edition when I was at the race at Barber a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It is not as horrifying as you would think, which is the best possible compliment I can give to Mad Dog 2020.
I fear that if it's not as horrible as you think, and then you like get sucked in and drink a bunch of it, and then the next morning you're like, oh God, this is why it's Mad Dog. Yeah.
No, I knew what my limit was, so I said, I just need the taste like I'm having a wine tasting, swirl it around.
Yes.
Spit it out. Yep.
I guess the tastes of the bum and state college students have improved slightly over the last 10 years or so then.
Yeah, we've gone right
Somewhat
to
palatable.
White Claw. I think White Claw is probably what is going around the college campus these days.
Yeah, that stuff's dangerous. You gotta watch out for the hard seltzer because it'll creep up on you if you have too many of them.
That happened to me when I was kayaking in the sun.
Oh, in the sun, yeah, that's where it gets you. I had a bad experience on a boat with White Claws. I was like, yeah, this is good. I'm hydrating, so I'll have a couple of beers and then a couple of White Claws. Didn't really pay attention to the like ABV. So really, I was doing myself a favor with having a light beer rather than the 2 White Claws in between. Yes. Yeah, that was a long day.
And to confuse things further, you've got like a Topo Chico now makes a hard seltzer.
Yeah, they're all in the game now, isn't it? I think if you're not making a hard seltzer, you're behind the times. It just makes me wonder what the next thing's going to be. I can only imagine alcoholic protein shake or something else.
Jesus.
Well,
That would be absolutely brilliant.
I spent 3
Yes,
years on that toilet.
Like a Irish, I kind of like
While
an
you're-
Irish coffee kind of thing. I think. Yeah.
While you're lifting, bam,
Just kidding. Yeah. Why not?
hammering the weights and getting hammered, brah.
Yeah.
Tom, spot me. Spot me, Tom.
My gallon water jug.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's going to be vitamin water.
I think it's going to be something there's going to be some kind of like holistic thing where it's like,
I'll
you
throw
can
this
get
out there.
wasted. But
What about
also,
marijuana infused water?
Ooh.
that's
Thing
already,
already, isn't it?
yeah, that
I
already-
go
the
sleepy with
drinks.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drinks are already around, but they're I don't know if they got banned in California because they're because of kids potentially.
Probably.
because they're real sugary
Yeah,
and
but
but they're also
You get the sugary stuff, but if you get like weed water and then you're totally marketing it as like it's healthy, man, it's
Yeah.
all from like nature and earth, man.
Yeah.
yeah, they put cannabis in pretty much everything now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an excellent episode of Mom, and the main character had to go to the weed store to get something for her boss. And of course, they're all recovering addicts, and they're in there and they're telling their stories of, back in the days, you had to go onto the freeway overpass and buy it from a guy that lived in a shopping cart. That was style. And they kept asking, oh, wow, you got candy bars. Does that have weed in it? Oh, wow, you got this. Does that have weed in it? And finally, the guy behind the counter goes, I'm going to stop you right now. Everything in this store has weed in it, including me. So,
Yeah, I haven't really quite got used to that. I mean, I don't live in California. I don't live in Colorado. It's just legal. It's legal in Florida now, right? Like recreational, or is it only? I don't know. Is it only California and Colorado?
No, it's
Does
legal in
Florida
several
even
states.
care about what's legal? I mean,
Nah.
Yeah,
you've
that's
got an
true,
entire
yeah.
bridge full of child molesters.
Yeah.
That's their vibe.
Illinois, I think it's legal for, yeah.
I just still can't. Oh no, Vegas as well. That's right. That was the last.
Oh,
time.
absolutely. Nevada is
Yeah.
the last bastion of freedom. Everything's
Yeah.
legal here.
But
Yeah.
but it still kind of like flicks my switch a little bit, where I'm like walking down the street and suddenly it just stinks of weed, and there's someone waiting for a bus just smoking a huge zook, and I'm like, this is just weird. This is so odd. Like, there used to be places you could get away with that in London and certain places in the UK, but like, I never thought I would see the day in the United States, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's once they figured out, oh my God, there's so much taxes. This is great.
So much money, yeah.
Well, Nancy Reagan is rolling over in her grave, is what's happening. So,
Didn't
And
see
you
that
would think
one
her,
coming.
you think her astrologer would have told her. Her
Yeah,
astrologer
right.
would have said,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, it's grid time.
it is
know.
time for the race. So, I have no idea how we even grid, if there's even any order to it. You'd think I would understand how any of this works after 2 years, but I don't.
Right.
So we're here.
Well, and real quick, I think, and correct me as I get this wrong, we've got 32 cars on the line here. Now we've got our danged old Camaros, our Miatas, and our the MX-5s and the JDM versions. We of course have the Skippies and the TDIs. And the number one rule when you're driving a Jetta:
Never lift.
never lift on the Jetta. Am I missing any cars?
Yeah,
I think I saw it. Did I see a Mustang?
I got the actual class breakdown.
Oh,
So
here we go.
Class A is Mustangs and the Camaros. Class B is the TDI, the Global MX-5 Cup, and the Skippy. 3 very similar, pretty much identical race cars.
Totally.
And Class C is the Solstice and the old right-hand drive Miata. So there you go.
Definite kind of day glow theme going on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, everything needs to look as absurd as possible. There's kind of a disappointment for us personally within iRacing that you can't, for example, put a 1974 Plymouth Valiant in it. So we try to make them encourage people to make their cars look ridiculous, since they can't actually be a Valiant, make it look like Cheshire Cat and all those things. So.
Although some of the Camaros, they've done a really good. Someone did an excellent job of making a Cordoba out of out of one of the street stocks.
You should be able to drive the pace car. I think
Yes.
Steve Myers just needs to get over it about like being a bit too serious about things, and needs to start opening up iRacing to some. Letting
It'd be
people
great.
be a bit more liberal with.
It'd be great if they could do like an editor for the bodies, so that you could then, at least make your car look like a 74 Valiant,
Yeah.
for
That's
example.
Well, and I feel like they've got enough data, on body movement and handling characteristics to where you could go through and grab just the performance data out of an old issue of Motor Trend or Car and Driver, plug it in, and have a 62 Valiant.
Yeah. Well, you just probably just use the like the old NASCAR as the basis for it, and then just tweak the physics on it a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know? There you go.
Yeah.
That works. That's how computer stuff works.
Yeah, you just, I've
easy?
seen it on TV.
Yeah.
When they need something to change, you just say enhance, and then
Yeah.
it changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So iRacing just needs to put the street stock on their screen, and then the boss has to walk by and be like, enhance, and then there you go.
Or maybe it'd be better if it was like low resolution.
Yeah,
Like
you start
a
yeah.
NASCAR game from the late 80s.
And they should be able to do this before lunch, which is how they solve these, murders from very crafty murderers, and they solve them in a day.
Yeah.
And anytime the car starts misbehaving, all you have to do is ask it a few questions, and then it'll tell you its entire sinister plot.
Is it possible that Ice-T shows up and explains what's happening?
Of course.
Or he is completely shocked. The John Mulaney joke about
Yes.
Ice-T's been working in Special Victims Unit. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me this guy gets off on pigtails?
Yeah.
Yes, that's usually how pedophilia works there.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, wow. Look at that. We've already got a screw up coming up the hill.
Yeah. Those cold tires. Those cold tires will get you all the time.
I'm
Unless
way
you're
behind you.
Yokohama's
I'm watching the
house.
YouTube broadcast. Should I just be spectating?
Yeah, there's in Discord, Ryan's got it set up. So if you go to the broadcast and you click on his thing, it shows the broadcast in real time for us. And all these other suckers see it on delay. So you guys suck.
Yeah. The drawback is no music.
Suffer peasants.
Yeah.
No music, no noise.
On board with Jay Becker as he comes down the back straightaway, get himself set up, going to make that nice 180 as they come back on into the...
Whatever the hell I don't know corner numbers. I never have learned.
I don't know either. I
Do you know
where the
them, Ryan?
drag
As
strip
a,
is.
as a professional race car driver, do you bother with like turn numbers? Does the engineer
Or
want to know
names.
that from you?
It's actually a little bit. It took a bit of adjustment when I first came over here because everything in Europe, all the corners are named.
Right.
Every
Right.
corner has a name, right? And now everything here is just. Like, I don't want to count all the way up to like 70. It's annoying. Just name it something.
The tracks still go with the names. You know, Mid Ohio still likes to have that personality. I'm trying to think what else. What other doesn't Barber? Eric, you were just at Barber.
Yeah, kind of, but nobody uses them. It's also true.
They're very American names though. It's like things like Madness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chaos.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
now Barber
And-
has Charlotte's Web because there's a giant spider.
Yes.
Yeah. Antifa. Have you Antifa?
Antifa. Only in Portland.
Yeah.
Fat
Yeah, there you
PBA
go.
Boulder, I believe, is one. Road America.
Right. Yeah. Bill Murray.
Bratwurst. That's a very American
Bratwurst.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corners,
Road America.
certainly the English tracks have, like, there's a definite very English
Yes.
theme, like Hawthorns, Graham Hill Bend, Druids, you know.
Repressed sexuality. Yeah. We get it.
Missionary position.
Oh, okay. I get it. This is repressed sexuality just because essentially everyone in this country, you get 3 beers in them and they're ready to rut immediately. So that means that the English people are repressed. I couldn't believe it. That's why I stayed. I came over here in 2006 for the first time. I was like, Jesus Christ, these people are crazy. No wonder there's so many of them.
Well, and bear in mind, this country, at least early on, was founded by people that were too uptight for England. So
Yeah, it's strange. It's funny how that goes, isn't it?
Oh, there's Nate Schlavine. Nate is racing. How about that?
Yay.
But maybe that's just how they wrote the history. Maybe they just needed to get on the boat, head off for Plymouth Rock because they needed to get their free from.
That's exactly it. That's
Fair
right.
enough.
The Quaker thing was always just a convenient, whatever. Puritans, Quakers.
yes, the comedian Greg Proops has an entire great bit about why do we have to get founded by that? Where was the Italian party boat with the cappuccino maker? Why couldn't they have gotten here? But yeah, they were probably too busy doing stuff.
Or the French.
No.
No.
Hey guys, you be nice to the French. They helped you out. If it wasn't for the French, the Revolutionary War may have gone on a bit longer.
And if it wasn't for us, they'd all be speaking German. So I think we paid that debt twice.
I think Russia. You should thank the Russian people for that, rather than America. You guys didn't show up until 42, so.
Look, it is crucial to remember at all times, Ryan, that Americans don't know anything about actual history outside of the last 4 minutes. So,
Yeah, exactly. I really thought that was something that the English and America could agree on, is that the French sucks.
Yeah. I mean,
I have some chat for Ed Smith, who just died right there.
Oh,
It's
no.
unfortunate.
I have some chat.
I think we just get bent out of shape about it when other people are like, yeah, screw the French. We're like, we were there first. We've been fighting them for like
1,000 years.
100 years. It was 100 years that you guys went at it. Yeah.
There was 100 years war, but then in between that time there was a bunch of other fairly protracted conflicts. even though technically we are French because the Normans came over and took over. So.
Details.
It's a weird deal. But yeah, no, the French are okay. I don't like Paris. The rest of France is right.
Oh yeah, but France hates Paris. It's like the
Yeah.
way it's the way America feels about New York City. They all
Or
think
Los
they're the greatest
Angeles.
thing ever, and the rest of us are all like, "Shut up."
Now,
Have you raced at Le Mans, Ryan?
I have not. No. I would love to, of course, but I have never raced there. Yeah, Nathan and Max were victims of that. I think I did a maybe it was a Lemons race in a Mustang, and I binned it. So they were victims of.
Oh, I recall this
My
now.
favorite.
Yeah.
They were victims of my failure.
It's fine. Everything's fine. The stakes
fine.
couldn't possibly be lower here. That's the best part of everything
That's
here.
right.
I've been to watch the race. I went to watch Le Mans in 2002 or I can't remember. 2002 or 2003. It was it was pretty wild. Definitely worth the
Bentley won in 03, I think. Was it Bentley
Yeah,
in 03?
2003. Yeah, 2003. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Love to race there. Whether that'll ever happen or not, I don't know. Fairly unlikely.
Well, if you're fishing for sponsors that'll put you in Le Mans, I think
Yeah.
you have absolutely joined the right broadcast.
Yeah, well, I was considering I was going to launch my own NFT and see if I could rub that on everyone and see if that would get me enough money. But then I'd have to move to Le Mans and just never come back. Potentially.
Well played, sir.
We've been scheming internally in Lemons on how to come up with our own NFT, and we don't understand it remotely well enough to even know what we would be doing.
Uh-huh.
So it launches next week, and you can get yours now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the most lemon way of doing it, rather than actually going down the proper like blockchain route of actually minting an NFT, like an original artwork, just steal somebody else's, like right click somebody else's and alter it really badly. And then just say, everyone, if you want this NFT, you have to right click it, but then you need to mail us a check for $5.
By the way, I just want to point out what's happening here on screen is we're getting a live view of Jason Grafton, aka Stunt Granny, pulling on a Jack Daniels bottle as he's
that was
racing.
clear. And he's cutting right through the. Go ahead and clear that black flag since he gave us that swig off there. If you can do that, please, Ryan.
He totally missed the S's because he was grabbing for the bottle.
Yes.
So
Stunt Granny's a professional driver as well, by the way, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it seems that way. The level of alcoholism in the professional driver instructor industry is not quite what it once was. It's a little bit more frowned upon now. So it's nice to see someone returning to the traditional values of the industry.
Yeah, indeed. Man, I feel like if you don't have a podcast, just throw all the dirt of professional racing. You can do it all right here. Totally fine.
I feel like that might very well be, better than an NFT for fundraising.
Oh yeah.
There's no dirt. There's nothing interesting. It's all very nothing. Yeah.
Oh, and he almost comes around, but he saves it.
Pretty
It
boring,
almost comes around
really.
again. Yeah. Better take another hit of that cheap vodka.
Delicious. Gotta keep this straight so I go to the pits.
Should we not mandate that he has to drink and go through the chicane every lap now?
No, oh boy. Well, I mean, the upside of that is he's not going to do enough laps if he keeps doing that.
Yeah.
Go on,
There we
son.
go. Another upturn of that bottle.
Although he could hit the drag strip and do some burnouts and stuff while we go round and round.
Yeah, we
As
still
a
have an
professional
hour.
coach, how do we feel about that line, Ryan?
I mean, it's fine.
I made it around. I mean,
Depends. What's
Probably
the helmet design? It looks like there was.
It's Mr. Bean.
That's Mr. Bean, yeah.
Oh, is it Mr. Bean? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's staring at your soul, Ryan.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, it is Mr. Oh my god, it's like the weird animated Mr. Bean, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Mr. Bean dressed like Macho Man Randy Savage in the Slim Jim commercial?
Ouch.
Randy Bish joining us from the depths of Pennsylvania.
Good evening, children.
How you doing, Ryan? Randy? Did you
I'm
hear
sure
us,
Ryan's fine too.
Did you hear us talking about weed and you needed to jump in?
Well, no, I heard about the possibility of scamming people with fake NFTs, and that was that was the third Beetlejuice in a row, and that's what did it.
This is the bat signal went out.
NFTs.
Someone talking about crypto?
See, here's how we do it. We pitch it as analog NFTs.
Okay.
And all we do is we print off the same picture of dick butt and physically mail it to people.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. That's a really thumbing your nose at the whole cryptocurrency kind of deal. Oh. Actually become the most obnoxious part of the internet. Unbearable.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely.
And that's
you can't get away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there you have it, though. The League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen have just hacked NFTs.
Fantastic.
I mean, we really wanted to have our own cryptocurrency of like Lamb coin, but that would have been really interesting to try to explain to, I don't know, FEC regulators or some dumb shit like that.
It's not regulated. You do what you want, man.
It's a Wild West.
It's not, you know why it will never get regulated? Because the CIA took a bunch of it. So it's never going to get regulated. Because it will come up to session, or there'll be a House committee session on it. Like, should we regulate cryptocurrency? And then someone from the CIA will be like, hey, we've got like $500 billion of this stuff, so maybe just shut up.
Or we'll release the files we found on your computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
How else do you think they're going to fund the Contra reboot? I'm talking about the video game, but I mean, the CIA obviously worked behind the NES game.
Well, you know the jig is up when you see Oliver North starts trying to market NFTs on Fox News. You're like,
This NFT is totally not weapons for the Contras.
Yeah, how long is it until? Because at the moment, like, Fox News is primarily like survival food, reverse mortgages, gold, like
and
gold
Buicks.
hedging,
and Buicks.
Yeah. So how long until they start advertising crypto on there? Because at that point, you know the game is up. You're like,
does AAA have a crypto yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I figured they'd be advertising the Let's Go Brandon crypto.
I figured if anyone's going crypto, it's going to be Alex Jones. Alex Jones is going to be the guy, and it's going to be like a tinfoil hat, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. He hasn't. Yeah, that's an interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, is he even that? He's potentially that radioactive, even though to people that might be interested in crypto, you know.
Yeah, he's already got enough problems. He can't make crypto happen anymore.
Now, if there's an Alex Jones coin, we would need the exact opposite Mike Jones coin and just have a completely slab-based coin.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Or honestly, if you think the opposite of Alex Jones, and you're still trying to keep the joke in there with all the Joneses, notably missing a Davy Jones coin.
Nice.
No, it's got to be Mike Jones.
Oh my God, Davey!
But
there's
Davy
no way.
Jones was all about peace, man.
Hang on, which
Slab
Davy
is slow, loud, and Bitcoin.
Are you talking Davy Jones like the musician Davy Jones? Or the
Well, he
racing
wasn't.
driver
He
Davy
started
Jones?
out as an actor and then became a musician. But yes, absolutely, the frontman for the Monkees.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like IndyCar Dragula Davy Jones.
No.
Oh no.
Because that would be-
I like him too, but yeah.
Because explaining an NFT to Davey would be
Challenging.
yeah, he would just be like, stop talking to me.
Wasn't Led Zeppelin's bassist named Davy Jones too, or is that
John Paul Jones.
John Paul? Yeah. All the Joneses.
Who would be the best old senile celebrity to try to pitch a coin to?
Wilford Brimley.
Morgan
Yeah, except we
Freeman.
have to dig him up now.
Tommy
See, I
Shaw.
was thinking Wilford Brimley, and then I remembered he's been dead for like 5 years.
Yeah, little necromancer.
Sean Coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Chong's still having a hard time realizing weed is legal.
Yeah.
Is Dick Van Dyke, is he still around? He's still
Yeah.
going, right?
I think so.
Dick Van Dyke.
I genuinely don't know.
I think he's still going.
I think Van Dyke was as an old dude is super sharp.
He's not senile. We need someone.
That's really dribbling.
Like the same thing with, of course, Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is, all the lights are on and everybody's still home at his place.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Morgan Freeman slow talking NFTs would be pretty great.
They would.
And yes, Dick Van Dyke still alive.
Still hippie. Good.
Incidentally, an Air Force veteran. Just want to drop that little nugget.
That's what this show really needs. We need the budget to hire somebody in a third world country, pennies, just to Google things for us so we don't have to stop, BSing.
That's right.
Randy, when have facts ever stopped this broadcast?
Honestly, I feel like if we got a third world country person to do that, that would be exploitive. And why not just call it an internship and hire some starving college kid who thinks this might, turn into a real job?
Yeah, that's what Fiverr's for.
Oh, that just happened.
Yeah,
yes.
You're hiring someone in another country with an incredibly lower cost of living.
All right, Nick, I don't know if you realize this, but calling people Australian that aren't Australian can get you murdered.
Not if they're upside down.
Nick's teammate is from New Zealand, so
there it is.
Therefore, he is prone to calling everybody Australian.
Australia Day.
Well, of course, yes. Well, that particular teammate, though, we know how that all played out.
Yeah,
his career's just gone downhill now.
He ended up upside down in a Chinese car at a lemons race. So.
And then it just got worse because
then we hired him to work for us.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no coming back from that.
That would be worth more than an actual NFT. That is very true.
Like I'm telling you, the experience of telling people they suck at driving to their face after they just screwed up is one of the most valuable things you can do with your life.
And whoever out there in Meat Space has the Ferrari bread van, you absolutely need a bread rollman theme at this point.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know who has that car right now. There's an Opel GT that has had all the sheet metal redone on it. Yeah, to look like the Ferrari bread van.
Yeah, who was the guy that did not Gigaro? That was the Mura. Should know that. Can't remember the guy that did the bread van.
You're light years ahead of all of us in knowing that there was a human being who designed the Miura. So,
and that's actually twice that an Opel GT has been. Ooh, that was kind of blatant right there.
I see.
Ed Bird just tapped at me out. Get out of my way. I'm all the Smiths.
Yeah, that's Bear Pope. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's two Smiths behind me at the moment.
But the other great Opel GT, I believe, was the Corvette Summer, or was that a Miata?
That was a Miata that they did, like the Corvette Summer.
Right,
with a bunch of fiberglass. I think it was actually fiberglass that he did.
It was a faithful reproduction.
And that's worth
in miniature.
Let me find that. And then I should also find the Tim Richmond Pontiac Sunbird that has raced in lemons as well. It's like a 3/4 scale
now
80s Tim Richmond. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tim.
Now we're talking. Is that in
full amongst yourselves while I speak through the archives here?
Was that in full Folgers trim as well?
Yeah. The best part of waking up.
I think it was when he had the beer sponsorship, and I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Old Style. That sound right?
Oh, Old Milwaukee.
I think it might have been Old Milwaukee. Sounds a lot more on brand.
Because he brought that over from IndyCar, right? The beer money.
That feels right.
Man, that's the kind of racing we need. We need spec racing where the spec is a particular designer. Outside of that, the vehicles don't have to share any common ground. Like, I would watch the shit out of the Guagaro Cup.
Sounds expensive.
I assure you.
It just sounds expensive because it ends in a vowel. It's fine.
Be a lot of broken down Lamborghinis. Wouldn't last
exactly.
Very long.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can still get Subaru SVXs for $200.
Was that a Gugaro car?
Yes, it was.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. You must have had some gambling debts, eh?
Yeah, I was about to say that's when everybody was like hard up for money, and they're like, oh, I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
And Subaru needed something to compete with all the other Japanese supercars, and
Right.
that was, really the best they could do.
Just like he was face down in an opium den and just drew something on a napkin.
Yeah, seriously,
Hilarious.
it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. The windows don't need to go all the way up. Okay,
That's pretty rad. I'd drive
it's
that
gonna
on
be
the
a
road.
window and a window. It's gonna
Yeah. Oh,
I had the
stock.
the old Buick V6 in it, I think, 3.8. So it sounded like a piece of industrial machinery that was running away
when it ran.
when it ran. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other car I was looking up? I already forgot.
Tim Richmond's beer car?
That's it.
That's it. That's the
Okay.
old Milwaukee. Little Pearl Jam on the back fender there. Nice.
Was it one of the
Of
Opals?
course, it's at the Ridge.
Yeah, the Opal.
Oh, that's right. The bread van. You were going to look up the bread van,
Milwaukee, I believe it's pronounced.
Milwaukee, yes.
which is
The
Algonquin
Good Land.
for the good land.
Very underrated movie, Wayne's World. I think it's about to have a resurgence. Very
And tying it all the way back to the Monkees was produced by Mike Nesbitt. Was one of the producers on that one.
Really?
I
Was that an SNL connection kind of deal?
no, when even before the Monkees were done, he'd moved into that realm, got it into production, and he was a big off-road racer. Did the Baja a few times.
Oh.
Man, sometimes the old people talk about other old people, and I just get lost.
Yeah.
That's okay. you got young people VTuber over here. I'm not that young. Who am I kidding? But it's just focus on the driving.
It do be like that. Pretty disturbing sometimes, I think, about how old I am.
Really. You actually could be my child. So
Yeah.
I mean, I
you
don't know
could
how
be my
you
brother.
feel, but some days I wake up and I'm like, Jesus, I'm nearly 40. Why don't I just kill myself?
Oh, okay. I should be dead already.
Lemons after
Agree. Lemons after dark.
well, there's several good reasons. So like, when you're, well into your second century, you get to mock people that can't do things that you can do and that are younger than you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, absolutely. And shaking, I don't even have a lawn, and I still get to go stand out in my front yard and shake my fist at children.
Yeah.
Get off my sand.
I think there's
Rocks, but yes.
Get off my rocks.
But there's just more things to deal with now that irritate me as I get older, like people trying to connect their phones to my TV for some reason. What's that all about?
I have
But
not done that.
But there's no recourse. Like, there's nothing.
Can we talk about how EJ's giving Allsmith a run for his money?
There's an actual race happening? That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
With
behind all
56 minutes left to go, this race is practically already decided.
I love
Right.
that our producer has to be like, hey guys, there's a thing happening right
There's
in
a
front of you."
race.
Yeah. This is the level of care we have for the actual
Yeah,
racing. Somebody's
it's-
taking their pants off, so
Yeah,
that's
ooh,
good
baby.
to hear.
Yeah, Bearded
Or they're
Sim is
scratching a
like,
record, or the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
but Bearded Sim Racer is really just the trip guide, and we're just all of the white people on a Mexico magic mushroom tour, and he's just the guy paid like, hey, come on over here, friend.
You lost me with the analogy, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But I like your style.
The
And we'll
ayahuasca
subscribe to your
shaman
newsletter.
in Joshua Tree.
Yeah, see that.
I
wanna
love
be
how you
extra
think
white.
old white people go out of the country.
No,
Yeah.
Have you been
Alaska's
to Palm
another
Springs? That's
country.
where they're all are.
Alaska's another country.
Palm Springs.
They're
That's
all in
funny.
Palm Springs.
The Lemon's owner has occasionally been in Palm Springs over the last year, so that tracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
We can be like Bono and The Edge, taking pictures.
Welcome to Nicholas Papadopoulos in the comments asking if 24 Hours of Lemons is serious or just an inside joke. It's kind of a very inside joke, so I don't know what to tell you, but thanks for
Check
tuning
out
in.
24hoursoflemons.com, and it won't make any more sense, but it's a real thing.
And yes, this is iRacing. We do have actual racing in the real world about 20 times a year. Our next race coming up is the Yokohama Ars Frieza Palooza. No, I'm sorry, Yokohama Sears Pointless.
The Sears Pointless. It's
at Sonoma.
track. The track
Which is why we are
at right now.
At virtual Sonoma. And then March 26th, that's March 12th through 13th. March 26th through 27th is Can't Get By Ya at NOLA Motorsports Park in New Orleans. And we have the Southern Fried Heaps Rally coming up on March 4th through 6th. That's a Lemons Rally, which is like a scavenger hunt road trip with terrible cars. And the Amelia Island Concours de Lemons is a car show on March 5th for crappy cars. So you can find all that on 24hoursoflemons.com. And if you want to join the iRacing, you can go to www.isuckatracing.com. Find our full schedule there. Our next race after this is March 16th on a Wednesday, which is roller derby with 2-car teams.
Yep.
Goes just like roller derby, and we have a no pedal, no wheel race, which is exactly what it sounds like. So all that coming up in a month. So there you go. There's the full scoop and everything I had written down to say I have now said. So go me.
Go you.
Mr. Papadopoulos seems to still be struggling with the concept that this is not reality.
No, this is iRacing.
It's sim racing, bro.
There are 10 shills that were voted the best of all time. And after that, 2.5 minute rant by Eric, that was just the perfect plug. That was in the top 11 shills of all time. That was actually beautiful.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of Sonoma, I'll be near Sonoma in another week. Oh, bye, Skippy. I'm going to drive the NSX and the MDX for Slash Gear, my first article for them ever.
Nice. It was exciting to catch new freelance work.
The Type S, yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
If it's the silver one, be careful, because I beat the tar out of that recently.
We'll keep that in mind.
Perfect.
I'm sure they put some tires on it. But
Yeah.
That much fun, huh?
I was doing some filming for Road and Track, and that was
awesome.
one of the cars we were filming.
Oh.
Nice. I didn't know you worked for Road and Track as a pro driver. That's pretty cool.
I'm technically a journalist. I'm a man of many hats.
Well, I apologize for that.
I'm a journalist as well. I like to try and keep in as many pretentious roles as possible.
Yeah.
I like to be around self-important people. So
Yeah.
journalism,
Auto journalists.
motorsport, cigar aficionado, something like that. I need to branch out to something else in the future. But
You have to be
mainly
careful
cars.
about being an automotive journalist, though, because you'll lose your ability to drive.
Yeah, that is definitely a bit of an issue for some members of the press corps. It's getting better. Let's say as the years go by, it's getting better. Read into that what you will.
I believe that. Yeah, our esteemed colleague and one of the original Lemons judges goes by Merely Martin. You may have seen him on the internet, aka Judge Phil. Went on a press trip. It was the Mini Cooper launch. Far back in the day, it was a new Mini Cooper. It doesn't matter. It was in Puerto Rico. They flew in everybody, and 3 different journalists absolutely nuked the clutch on a brand new Mini Cooper on the press launch. So
that sounds about right. Yeah, it's the real reason I've got involved in automotive journalism. Is because I'm trying to destroy them from the inside.
It's a good plan.
There you go. Well done.
I've suffered at their hands for so long.
Yeah.
Having to sit next to journalists on manufacture of vehicle launch events.
Yeah. You've had to babysit them. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's totally crushed them from the inside.
Yeah, wealthy customers are far easier and more pleasant to deal with than some of the automotive media.
We got a little bit of a tango going into the S's there. I believe. It's a whole mess.
Am I coming up on it?
Somebody did not want to give up. Give up a position between that Mustang and the. I have not caught the sponsorship of that Mustang.
Where was that Mustang? Should that Mustang not just be absolutely smoking everyone?
That Mustang's slow.
Probably, yeah. It was. I think they had a fuel stop recently. So.
That's right. Mustangs and street stocks have fuel stop thingy.
Yeah. But these the street stocks are actually inside iRacing, quite tunable for road coursing. If you go and I'm not sure where he's running right now. I'll be surprised if he's out of the top 10. But Dave Carpenter, aka Uncle Dave, and he's got an extensive background in both RC racing, meat space racing, and crewing for circle track cars, and he has actually set up several of these to do quite well on all road courses. And it's hilarious because he has a very nice steering wheel, and he sits in a folding lawn chair in his basement playing on a TV tray.
What a hero!
He's 11.
See, that's what I need. I need a folding lawn chair. That's what I need. This chair is about to really drop me at some point.
My sim rig for a long time was based entirely upon the folding tables that used to come in CRVs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I found it entertaining that there was a trim of the CRV called the EX. So you had the CRV EX, which if you said it really fast, sounds like cervix. That's a really strange name for a car. Honda didn't quite test that one out, I think.
No.
That one got past the focus groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Focusing on those groups.
So Nicholas Papadopoulos, though, I see he's saying that he can't have sim racing fun because he doesn't have a controller. Boy, do we have a racing series for you.
Yeah,
because he also uses a Assetto Corsa, which is, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not iRacing.
Oh.
Yeah. So you need to hook yourself up with the iRacing and then bring your Xbox controller and do our no pedal, no wheel.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, mouse pad and mouse, essentially.
Yeah, or the CAN bus of your car, your company car, if you've got one.
Of course, the infamous French horn.
Or pickles. Just get a jar of pickles from your local Ralph's or whatever.
Nicholas, have you ever seen a pickle? If you have, a race controller is in your grasp.
That's right.
Yeah. We had a complete multiple failed attempt to use a Shizu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little pupper did not want to drive the car. Oh shit!
We used the controller from what was that, Bassmaster Plus or whatever that video game was.
Fishing
rod.
Yeah.
Oh yep. See, there's our Shizu. He would be all excited during testing, and then come race time, did not want to get out of the lap. Nope, going nap time.
Yeah.
The barrel of the shotgun, which, by the way, last week was the 16th, the Sweet 16 anniversary of Dick Cheney Hunting Safety Day.
Oh, that's right.
There you go.
Still waiting for that Dance Dance Revolution controller, but
the Shih Tzu photo, by the way, looks completely sinister. If you don't know what's happening, it looks like there are wires going into its brain.
Yeah. It does look very odd. Yeah.
It was like a harness around its arms.
That's a new PR shot from Neuralink.
Yeah.
The fact that the dog is slightly cross-eyed makes it so much better.
And underbite.
All Shih Tzus have underbites. Yes. Yeah.
Turn the voltage down a bit.
Yeah.
Straight in the eyes. Mr. Papadopoulos is requesting a full course caution. Apparently.
Why?
I don't know. He's just said yellow flag ? I mean,
he was asking about
if an E36 breaks down in 5 hours, Nick, I don't think you've seen an E36 race. They're not making it 5 hours.
Most of them don't. No.
30 minutes.
Turns out using plastic in your cooling system is not great for endurance racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or cooling. Oh, hello, Street Stock and the tire barrier.
So, Ryan, talking about the street stock being capable of being set up for road course.
Yeah.
Have you ever driven like a stock car on a road course, and how ridiculous is that? If you have
the closest, I guess, the few closest things that I've driven would be like two-frame cars in Europe. So I drove. So in the UK, there was a series called ASCAR, which was the. Can't remember which chassis they used. I think it was. Trying to think now.
How ASCAR has not caught on in this country, I
have no
never
idea.
understand.
Yeah,
I know, right?
God, why is that not like the biggest thing?
Yeah, they used to race only at Rockingham in the UK. So
which is almost an oval.
Yeah, so I drove. So they actually used like the actual. They were cars from the States. I can't remember which series they were from. I think they were ARCA cars. So I was supposed to test one of those, and I didn't. But I drove the pickup, which was built in the UK, and then I raced Legends. This is not a cum. That just came. I just remembered I raced Legends. And then there was a UK like oval series called Eurocar, and I drove one of those cars, the V6 version. I never drove the V8, but I drove the V6 a few times. But I've driven like old, like Trans Am cars and stuff like that as well. Nice. So there's one Trans Am car I get to drive fairly regularly, which is probably my favorite thing I've ever driven.
Which one is it?
It's a '69 Camaro, which is supposed to be, period correct. But I convinced the owner, I was like, this sucks as period correct. So you need like a new motor, and you need a top loader in it, and you need some new cage stuff in here. And now it's like 600 horsepower and a weapon. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty.
By the way, that was EJ Bird dumping the race leader to take the lead after.
How about that?
It's perfect while you're talking about NASCAR and roundy round racing. That there's a perfect NASCAR dump into the bus stop there.
And his nose just rematerialized as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of leaders, so Mr. Liu, Xiao Liu, actually popped into my chat saying, I missed the race.
That's unfortunate.
He's one of our alien drivers.
Yeah,
We
he's
have Banger Cross after this.
Yes.
Yeah. You can jump in that. Should be 9:30, 10:30 Eastern. I think that starts. He is a really quick driver in real life too. He brought a Corolla to Road Atlanta and ran like a low 150 something in it. It's like a 2003 Corolla. Has no business running anywhere.
Yeah, that ain't bad. That's good.
Yeah.
Aaron has run down the leader. Here we go.
Yeah. Is he going to dump him back?
Jump.
It's going to turn and get him in that rear corner.
He's pitting. Well, that was anticlimactic, which is kind of the story of Lemons. So
that's the shame sometimes about NASCAR, is that it doesn't give away how much of an art it really is to dump someone and make it look plausibly deniable.
Right.
It's pretty tricky to actually do it. I mean, in NASCAR it's a little bit different because it's kind of a contact sport, but road racing, it's really tricky to make it look like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Especially now where they can look at
the real time,
they can pull your data as well and see if so you have to make it look like you didn't roll out of the brake at the same time, or you didn't brake like crazy late. But then also you have to manage the amount of energy that you're hitting the other car with, so you don't damage your own car. So the people that are really good at it, are really good at it.
Now you're of course also running an IMSA car.
Not
How
anymore.
much of that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I got fired.
Looking at your website.
I just haven't updated it in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I say, how much of that is without making contact, where you can kind of start stealing some of their aero?
So with the P2 car, it's depending on the track, it is tricky to follow, and depending on the aero trim that you're in, it's tricky to follow someone through the high speed stuff. If you're directly behind them, you don't get much, like you can't do any of the NASCAR stuff where like you fill their fenders up or anything like that.
Okay.
There's not enough of a gap to do that. The car is definitely, cars side by side are they're quite unstable because you will get a bit of the flow off of the front of the car. It will take downforce away from both cars. So, but then inevitably, well, the one advantage of when you are in a prototype is they're quite fragile in the nose and in the rear, in like the tail of the car. Unless you hit someone like absolutely dead square straight, like on the crash box. If you hit it at a bit of an angle, you're gonna damage the floor or the underwing. But the real trick is you hit someone directly side on. So especially like a GT car, which sounds odd, right? You'd think that the prototype would come off worse, but you've got so much more downforce and you're lighter comparatively. So, if you throw it up the inside of a GT car that's been annoying you, and if you hit them side by side and your wheels are straight, the GT car's going to come off worse because you're just going to pinball them out of the way. Which you try and avoid doing, but you got to do it sometimes because someone's, they got to learn their lesson.
Well, this brings up an interesting point that I was thinking about as a talking point with you, which is, when you show up at a Lemons race, you don't need a competitive, there's no comp license. You need a driver's license and a pulse, and that's pretty much it. And what you find is that the person who's never been on a racetrack, they are so over their head that they're not going to do anything stupid. When you really get in trouble is when you got a guy who thinks he knows what he's doing. And from what I've seen in doing 70 races as a judge, or as an official, I guess in general, is that having a license or not having a license has absolutely nothing to do with it, like comp license. People do stupid things who have, raced in club racing or pro racing for years and years and years as an amateur. So a guy with more money than brains usually is what you find. Is that the kind of the guy who, in a GT car, maybe needs to be shown a lesson? How do you deal with the gentleman driver who perhaps...
No, it's not. It's the only time that I would definitely not, because you'll know, or you'll get a bit of an idea. You'll know from following someone who's in the car. You'll have a good idea.
Yeah.
If it's like if you're driving a prototype, a faster class car, you can tell just by the attitude of the car on the track and what they're doing, and you can see someone looking in their mirror and you can see that they're more concerned about you than they are about actually driving. The only people that are very rare, I'm making it sound like I'm like driving into people all the time. This is like extremely rarely, and this is only because someone has done something to me and I need to get them back. So the worst people in my experience from all the ALMS and Grand Am stuff that I did sporadically, it's always the factory guys. So the factory GT guys, because they are under a lot of pressure, obviously, for their results and the time delta for what they lose. If you go the inside, it's a big time loss for them, right? So they will, most of the people is that they'll make it pretty clear, like, you ain't coming through here, which is like, that's perfectly okay. But sometimes it's like, well, I kind of need to come through here, so I'm going to force the issue. But then there's some other people that are deliberately malicious, that deliberately try and push you on the grass or put you in a awkward place or try and outbrake you just to make things awkward and slow you down unnecessarily. So those are the people that you need to give them, because especially in a long endurance race, you have to make that person think twice, that when they see that car again, they're going to think, okay, maybe I'm not going to screw with this car again. Because if you do let people get away with it, they'll keep doing it. Because somewhere at like Daytona, you will see, if you're in the car, if you're doing a double or if you're doing a triple, you're going to see that car pretty frequently, especially at Daytona, several times over a stint. So it's like, if you end up having a bit of a war with someone for a couple of hours because one of you did something to the other one. So every time they see you again, it's like any opportunity, you can kind of try and screw each other over. But most of the time, everyone's, the smarter guys, they get it, they understand.
And I understand, like, kind of I don't want to say this phrase, but, establishing a I'm not going to take this kind of crap from you sort of a deal. But it would sound also, I mean, it's an endurance race. You can't do too much of this because you've got to hurry up and get around him and go do your lap. And you start giving up too much time. And God forbid you damage something, or they're real a-holes and they, hurt your car doing something dumb with theirs. And now you're in the pit for 30 minutes while they beat a fender back out or something.
Yeah, it's just a case of, it's, especially like the 24 or Sebring or Petit, it's a really long race, right? So where the time is really made up is like your delta in traffic. So not losing time in traffic. So that's why you see a lot of incidents in traffic, because like, especially at Road Atlanta, you can lose, if you're in a prototype, you can lose a lot of time if you can't get through, in turn 1 or before 3, you're going to lose, your lap
stuck
time.
In the S's,
Yeah, your lap time increases by 20%. There's an ebb and flow to it, is that everyone kind of gets the same probability wise to a certain extent. You're going to get shafted compared to somebody else at the same time, but that's why it becomes a bit more of it becomes important that you look as far down the road as possible, and it becomes a bit more of a game, not chess, I wouldn't say it's that intellectual, but the people that are experienced is that you understand, you can see if you're coming through the kink across start finish and you can see the trainer cars in front, and you can kind of guesstimate, okay, I'm going to get them here, so I either need to go a little bit slower coming down the hill so that I can get a good run out of 5 and pass them into 6, that kind of stuff. This is stuff you have to start thinking about. But as you were saying with like Lemon's drivers, I guess, right, I definitely agree. The people that know nothing are generally less dangerous than the people that, know just enough to be dangerous. So I always look at it as like the Dunning-Kruger, right?
Yeah.
So it's assumed proficiency and how that changes, and especially in racing, it's a legit, really, really bad issue. I mean, you see it, especially now, because so many of the cars that people buy are like, GT4 cars, and they're like pro race cars, right? So there's this, vicarious reinforcement. Oh, I have a car that's manufactured by Porsche Motorsport or by whoever. This means that I am now a professional racing driver. I drive this car. I am a professional. So those are the people you really have to look out for, the people that have done a bit of driving, have done enough racing, and can go quick enough that they are, towards the limit of the tire for most of the lap, and that's where it usually goes tits up.
Yep. That was a really, really long, really, really good. If I could cut 3 minutes to just play for people the fucking Lemons race, that would be perfect, because what you end up with is all these people who, they have no patience and understanding of what all that was. You just perfectly encapsulated the entire mentality you need to win one of these races, any endurance race really, and it's, broadly applied. But, when people make some stupid mistake in a 14.5-hour race like we run because they're driving 10/10ths for some stupid reason, this is a long game,
Yeah, people. When I coach people, I think of it. You always use the terms mental bandwidth. It's like, how much bandwidth do you have left? If you are using all of your bandwidth to just drive the car, you've got nothing else left to. If something, if a bit more of a complicated situation occurs, then you're tapped out. You got nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing left in the tank. You can't think. And that's what the most common thing that I see with like amateur racing is, that people are just so completely mentally tapped out on actually driving the car, is that they can't handle any other decision-making process.
Well, and one of the issues that I've run into as an official is they'll come in and start citing rules from a different series. Well, I did this. I presented, and they should have let me by, so I stuck my nose in there, and I'm like, as soon as I hear those kinds of phrases, I'm like, this is going to be a really long conversation.
Yeah, can you not just eject them straight away? Be like, this is like...
We can do better, actually.
These are the words you cannot use.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing we can do is we always, not always, but frequently we carry a deed to the line, and we can make them go get it notarized and signed off on, and then with this, that way, they officially have the line. They always have the line.
We we had an interesting one at Sonoma in December. It was it's an organization, actually. They're based here in Las Vegas, and they have several track prepped Miatas, and they'll rent out the seats, but some of them get a little too real racery. And 2 of them came in the penalty box at once, and the team owner's girlfriend beat them to the penalty box, and she was already irritated, and she's like, I know what they're going to say. I'm tired of these 2, and can I talk to them? Well, absolutely. You want to do the job that I'm getting paid to do and not get paid for it. And as they came in, and they were prepared to argue with me, and they ended up arguing with the owner of the car.
Right.
And finally, she just, said, and he was trying to justify his actions that gotten him black flagged. And she's like, stop talking.
Yeah.
You are not this person. You are not a pro. You will not come back here. Stop doing this thing in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, without wanting to be too offensive to the veteran community, but we're almost getting to the point now where there needs to be like stolen valor for people claiming to be a race car driver. It's getting the amount of like sponsored Instagram accounts.
Oh man!
I'm like, dude, you drive like a GT3 at COTA like two weeks a month. You need to chill with this like you're a race car driver thing.
Now the flip side of that at the amateur level is when you've got people that are doing the right thing as far as just driving the car, trying to keep their awareness up. They're not getting in over their heads, but they're not going to do this very quickly. They're just out there turning laps, going very slow, and they start to feel bad about themselves because they're getting passed. And it's always surprising at the end of the day when you show them where their stats were. Like, wait a minute, why am I not dead last? Well, because you didn't come in and have an argument with a judge. Right. You didn't get tangled into the car. You didn't burn a lot of gas, and you just kept turning laps, which is that was close.
The rules are there. The mechanism has clearly been developed over time, right? To kind of, in as light-hearted a way as possible as policing that kind of human behavior.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
But I'll say to them, they'll say, "Well, I'm terrible." I'm like, "No, you're a race car driver." And they go, "No, I'm not." Blah. I'm like, "Are you wearing a driver's suit? Are you on a track competing with other vehicles?" I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. See, but that person is.
Yeah, that's not the Instagram GT3 owner. No, they are completely the opposite.
That's a far easier personality to deal with. Yeah, much more in the spirit of things, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they should be in the fast run group. They drive flat out. Is the Instagram racer reality? You know?
Yeah.
I encounter. Yeah, I definitely. It is. It's rare, somewhat rare these days, that you encounter some people like that. I mean, but I mean me personally.
No, absolutely. In your realm, absolutely, yes. You should come to a lemons race. You should definitely come officiate a lemons race. It will be refreshing to find people that just want to drive a car and don't care where it finishes.
I don't know. I'm a bit too competitive. I might get a bit bent out of shape.
Well, no, you don't have to race. You're just there. You're just there to pass judgment on people.
You guys' safety record's pretty good, though. That's the thing that amazed me. Because I did a bit of digging on it. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Well, they must be like dropping like flies at the end of it. This is like Grand Prix racing during the 60s or something. Have they got like a wall of fame? You got stars on the wall somewhere, but I'm amazed that your guys' safety record's pretty good actually.
Yeah, no budget on safety gear.
Yeah, so we do. That's a good point and a great talking point as some of the people in question are asking about this kind of stuff. But you have to have a racing seat, a 5-point harness, a 6-point roll cage at least. And, we have no problems with people going to excess on safety equipment at all. You know, we always recommend you spend as much money as you can on the safety stuff and screw everything else. Because really, nobody here is making money doing this. It's a stupid hobby, and we want everybody to get home at the end of the weekend. But fire suppression system, I mean, we go pretty much all out on that stuff.
Fire suppression systems.
Yeah,
That's a racket.
You
ever been in one of those things when they go off? That's always the worrying thing. When you set the button off, you're like, oh god, this is great. If I was really on fire here, I don't know how helpful this would be. But.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the series went right to it as this is obviously the safety measure, and we held out for 3 or 4 more years while we tried to figure out exactly what was safer about it, rather than just GTFO the burning car as quickly as you can. And that's still our message as much as we can. You know, your car's on fire, just get the hell out of it. You know, don't worry about
fire suppression system is to give you 10 seconds to get the hell out of the car.
The use case scenario for it is I'm in a car that's rolled over like on the door and it's on fire and I need 10 more seconds. And, you know, maybe it'll get you that if it actually works.
Yeah.
One of the things also you'll find though in our community is because the racers and there are people they're competitive, but because there's no sponsorship money and no one's job is on the line, it is still a relatively comparative healthy thing. It's a self-regulating group. If someone comes to one of these events and they're just getting all wound up and they're too serious and they're over in somebody's pit going, hey, you blocked me for 5 laps, and they look at them with a beer in their hand and go, and? Dude, you're racing a car with a dildo for a shifter. Get over yourself. Yeah. So either they adapt to the social norms, which is we're just here to have fun, or they find another place to be pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about the competition aspect of it, that does bleed over into the safety, because as you mentioned, sometimes you have to establish an order of things while you're on the track, and because this is a lighthearted, good-natured thing, you don't find that happening very often. And if more often than not, we'll get several people that will come into the judges area, or they'll go, hey, do you know where car so-and-so is? I owe them a beer because I did this thing and it kind of screwed them up for a little bit. So they're actively seeking each other out to kind of make these amends, and people come over and go, hey man, I'm really sorry about this or that. It's all good. And then the other unique aspect to Lemons that you'll see is people helping other teams. Of course, all these cars are, safety-wise, they're great. Mechanically, they're kind of iffy. So a lot of teams will go and help other teams so they can get their heat back on the track so they can all go battle the next day.
I think that is something, as bizarre as it may sound, that theme. You still do see that in motor racing, even at the higher ends of it. I mean, in the years in the Pro Series that I've raced in, I mean, I've seen teams that were racing against each other where one car's been destroyed. One of the Jeep, I don't remember which team it was now. Maybe it was Corvette.
At Le Mans,
yeah. Corvette were doing that. There was another one. I can't remember. My memory's so toast.
I remember they wrote one of the chassis off at Le Mans. They bought the Luke Adventures, the privateer car. They bought the chassis off of them or borrowed it back or whatever the agreement was.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen less so with the prototype stuff, but definitely GT teams. I've seen them. They will be okay. We have to drop the engine out of this and put this in another car, and there's people from another team working on their car for it.
Yeah.
So it does still happen. I think that's one of the things that still exists in motor racing. You see something like that, you're usually so bummed out and cynical about the whole deal, and then you see stuff like that occasionally. You're like, I kind of remember why I like motor racing.
That's one of the shocking things about it when I was
rum, by the way. Sorry.
Excellent. Perfect.
Yum.
Rum. Oh, he's drinking rum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Straight
Well,
rum.
and just because I haven't had a chance to do this right now, we're
Shiver me timbers.
20 minutes left in this race, and it's important to remind everybody that everything you're watching is brought to you by a top-flight computer. You like the game, you need the internet, all of these things, you're going to need a computer. Might as well get a top-flight computer. Don't forget advanced racing development. And as you are going to see in 19 minutes and 55 seconds, life is going to yeet you. And when it does, you're going to want insurance. You should talk to the Faith Insurance Agency. Of course, Yokohama Tires, we don't know why they sponsor Lemons, both virtual and meet space, but we love that they do. And if you come to a Lemons race and you are on a set of Yokohama Tires, you are automatically entered into a contest to win another set of Yokohama Tires. You're stupid not to do this. And if you like this racing and you don't really care about the idiot who's talking right now, you should follow Bearded Sim Racer on all of his social medias, because he does this stuff. Just got done doing 1,000 miles at the Watkins Glen just in time to bring you this brilliant broadcast right now. He does this all the time, all over the place, and it is worth watching his social media and find out what he's going on. If this intrigues you, check out iSuckAtRacing.com. We've got our entire thing, a Facebook group. Our next big event is going to be coming up. I forget. I've already...
March 16th. You got it.
March 16th. There you go. And if you want to check it out, go to the 24hoursoflemons.com. Don't have a fire suit, don't want to put on a roll cage and strap into a hot car for 2.5 hours? You need to check out the Lemons Rally, because there's one coming up right here at the beginning of March, and that is going to be the Southern Fried Heaps. Eric, where are they driving? The Southern
Mobile, Alabama to beautiful Cedar Key, Florida via Macon and St. Augustine.
And all of you people that are in frozen, miserable places right now, doesn't that sound nice? Yeah, it does. So hop in a crappy car and take a ride down to Florida.
There you go.
Damn, that was a hell of a read. You were on a roll. I didn't want to get in there.
Yeah.
Man, so tonight we've got battle of the heavy hitter shills going on. We got a fucking great guest. Like, guys, we haven't had a show this accidentally useful since that time Judge Phil taught us how to make pipe bombs.
Yeah. And hey, you know, I hope we have the Wreckfest at the drag strip, because we can actually get into it.
That's right. Ryan, every time we end a race, it just turns into a demo derby at the end, and we break iRacing's physics model in horrifying ways, which is pretty great.
This when you need to switch your wheel off. So if you've got direct drive wheels, you don't break your wrists.
Yeah, you need the, I'm sure everybody's seen the meme
way
now
too many
of the...
Thrustmasters. There are not a lot of direct drive fans.
Yeah. I'm definitely not one of them.
The guy who made the crash mod with the, I don't know, it was like a robot with arms that would just push his chair forward really hard every time it crashed.
Yes, the first one, because he's wearing a helmet, he cracks his monitor screen.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I do think that the sim racing deal is kind of frustrating sometimes. I mean, I don't get that involved. I try to avoid it now just because I get so irritated. But
because there's no stakes in,
there needs to be some kind of, like, metric for all these aliens that all they do is just iRace relentlessly. There needs to be some kind of, like, at the end of every season, this was your damage budget. Like, this is how much damage you did. And then then there should be other winners for, like, every season if you didn't actually just fence the thing relentlessly for days on end. Mm-hmm. But then where are we going to get from that? Nothing. No one wins anything. What's the point?
No, it's a video game. Yeah, that's the point. It's a video game. Anyone who doesn't understand that, I don't want to race with. I had someone threaten to kill me one time because I had broken a suspension component in a real iRace, and I was limping it into the pits because the tow trucks in iRacing are the slowest tow trucks in the world.
Yeah.
And he just straight up plowed into me coming into 10A because he didn't see the giant pink Cadillac, and spent the next 10 minutes direct messaging me, "I will find a way to make you pay." And well, first off, I'm 51 years old. No, you won't.
You could have got his account nuked for that, death threats. That means he gets his service turned off.
I totally don't. See, but then I'm engaging at his level. I don't care.
Oh, no.
I sat there and scrubbed my dog's ears and let him rant for a bit. And then the race was over and I went about my life.
That's you're not petty enough on the internet is really the problem.
No, see, this is why Ryan needs to come judge a race. I'm not petty enough on the internet because I get it all out when I'm judging at a race. I get to be all kinds of petty and obnoxious, and then later they give me alcohol for it. It's fantastic.
You have to be double petty though, because you have to. If I have an incident with someone and they start, they get a little bit upset, I'll prod them a little bit.
Perfect.
So I'll bait them into, I've read the iRacing terms and conditions of like chat very carefully. So I'll bait them into getting really offensive or threats and stuff like that, and then I report them and I'm like, this person is saying offensive things, because if they're already that upset, then iRacing is clearly like something important for their spare time. So the best way of me getting my own back on them is just by getting their iRacing switched off for 2 weeks.
That is the operant conditioning. Is B.F. Skinner, by the way, that the avoidance of pain is the most effective way to get people to stop doing stupid behaviors.
You're not going to get people to stop doing stupid things. We've proven this in the company in the last.
But ergo, if you take away the one thing that they actually like, this is like parenting 101.
Oh, sure.
Take away what the kid wants. That is some kind of emotional pain.
I'm not their parent, and I don't care. I did have someone email me one time. I was just getting one of my licenses, so I was running these weird races at 2:00 in the morning, and it was I want to say a Skippy race at Road America. And out of 19 cars, I finished 18th. And I got a private message from the 19th car that says, "You were excessively braking every time we came into a corner. I have the video to prove it, and I'm sending it to iRacing." And my reply was, if I had that kind of skill, I wouldn't have been 18th.
Yeah. People figure. I was just trying to figure out why Eric is just such.
He's playing on an Xbox controller.
He's on an Xbox controller.
Which he has a proper setup just every now and again. Oh, see, now he's got the window open, and there's a little fluffy puppy in the window. See, he's messing with us. There's two of them. There are two Eric Hassers, and they're not paying attention to the background. See, that's why they're so good.
What's funny is Eric has raced with his brother for years, and I can't tell them apart in real life because they look basically identical.
Really?
So I'm always like, hey,
Hesser?
Hesser one?
So I'm sorry.
Now he's going to mess with you at every time.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
They're from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, if they're from Wisconsin, there's like 6 maybe generic like Wisconsin NPCs for like guys. So I can understand how you might mistake them.
Oh, yeah,
NPC
sure. I'm totally offended, Joe, don't you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You better start learning to tell us apart. We're going to get like irritated.
Well, I mean, they bribe us with spotted cow and cheese. So, I mean,
Glarus,
yeah.
Yeah, you can't complain.
Yeah.
All right, so we've still got our Bear Pope janitorial services just over 11 minutes left in this one.
Until drag racing.
Do we have time for a quick round of crap, not crap?
Ooh, we always have time for
There's
crap.
always time for that.
All right, so here's the rules of crap, not crap, Ryan. You can only answer crap or not crap to the prompt. All right, so you can't explain it. You just have to answer crap or not crap. So I'm going to go through the 24 Hours of Lemons schedule for racetracks. You tell me crap or not crap for the racetrack.
It's like a weird like Rorschach test kind of thing.
Basically, yeah. So Barber Motorsports Park, crap or not crap?
Not crap.
Excellent. Anybody else have opinions? Mental?
Oh, that is totally Scottish.
Yeah, not crap. Sonoma.
Scottish.
Crap.
Crap. Yeah. All right. NOLA Motorsports Park.
Crap.
Scottish.
Mental likes all the racetracks. Pit Race. Pittsburgh International Race Complex.
Since the addition. It's gotta be not crap. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm breaking the rules. Not crap.
But yeah, I agree. Not crap.
Not crap. I'm in Wampum right now.
I'm sorry.
They're listening. Can't say anything more.
They're in the trees.
That's Carolina Motorsports Park. CMP.
Oh, that is so crap.
Yeah, crap.
I love it, but it's crap.
Yeah. We have good races there. They're just crap.
Oh,
And
look at
F's
this.
in chat for Al Jones, who was running 9th. He was set to be our winner and just got dumped. and he's no longer in ninth place.
Wait, but the Jetta recovers because you never left.
Never left. That's right. Thunder Hill, crap or not crap?
Crap.
Ouch.
But when I'm saying it, I don't know, it's hard for me not to explain why. It's tricky.
Yeah, you can't explain.
I'm thinking of it in like, it's from like my experiences there. And then I'm like, Jesus, Lemons race there.
Oh, it's awesome. We don't unlike you pros, we run the full 5 miles plus.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
How many people do you get lost around there?
A lot.
Not zero. Yeah, definitely not zero.
That's usually an explanation of why someone came off the track. Is they'll just come in and go, "I really thought I was in this turn.
Where I was.
I was in that turn, and I went off. I'm really sorry." We go, "Okay, good answer."
Dude, especially at Thunder Hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah, it's that bandwidth issue again.
Yep.
Smoke in the rear. Is he gonna get it? Nope.
No, absolutely not.
He's been drinking rum. He's absolutely not going to get it. Yeah.
Pepsi Man pushed him off the track.
Yeah.
Fire in the sky.
It is such a shame, though, about poor Al Jones really getting wrecked out of the winning position. He pulled a David Carradine and just choked it right at the big finish.
Damn.
You've been waiting for that joke all night. Well done, sir.
It popped into my brain this morning. I'm like, I need to get this out.
I was about to say Randy has written 3 things on a piece of paper he needs to get in this broadcast, and David Carradine was one of them. So well done, Randy.
David Carradine.
Bingo.
Dick Cheney. Wonder what the third one
Dick
is.
Cheney was the other one. That should be the Gobblerito, but I think that's a standing condition. High Plains Raceway, crap or not crap?
Never been. I couldn't say.
Ooh, I'm actually crap.
Yeah. No services. You're in the middle of effing nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Dang.
I'm guessing it's got loads of long radius over the top of blind rise corners,
which is actually a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't get paid to do this, so I enjoy that kind of crap. I'm weird, but yeah.
New Jersey Motorsports Park, pick a track.
It's yeah,
horrible.
Hallelujah.
Any place I have to deal with the state police deciding how good I'm driving. Yeah.
Not to mention your gas things have to be red and your seatbelts.
You can't pump your own gas there.
That track would be wonderful anywhere else in the world.
Well, yeah. Don't know about that.
Better. It would be better.
It would okay. Fair enough. Better. Yeah. Exactly.
Gingerman Raceway.
Oh, not crap.
Yeah, not crap.
Not crap.
Totally with the Ryan Lewis on that one. I've never had a bad time at Gingerman.
Yeah,
Gingerman's
I've always had a good experience.
Great place. Facilities, not the best. Good place though.
But they're honest about it.
Yeah,
track.
Absolutely.
Is there a track in America that has like fantastic facilities? Really?
Barber, the only one.
Barber. Yeah.
Actually,
it, right?
New Hampshire.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because NASCAR.
Oh yeah. Those bathroom heaters will run you out. They got hot water all day. It's fantastic.
I mean, if we're calling New Hampshire like a high bar facility place, I think pit races loads better than New Hampshire.
No, you would think that, but you're wrong.
Fair.
How many showers are at pit race?
At this point, about 10.
Okay.
Golden or otherwise.
I got a count.
Well, now. Lemons After Dark.
Oregon Raceway Park.
Never been.
Oh no, hang on. Or
it's way out in the middle of nowhere.
I've been to the Ridge.
The Ridge.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, there you go.
Go to the Ridge.
Give us a rating on the Ridge.
It's. I guess
crap or not crap.
I guess not. I don't know how you can have a car race around there, to be honest.
It's weird. I'll give you that.
It's kind of like for the racing part of it, it's the last part coming back down the hill.
Yep.
I'm like, I remember driving it for the first time and I was like, holy shit, they're just going to tip someone over this hairpin and someone's going to die. Like, what's going on here? It's bizarre. But
the end of every Lemons video is a 944 stepping out, coming through that bit.
Yeah, spinning through the last whatever the hell they call that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thompson Speedway.
I have not been.
You're not missing much.
No.
It's a neat place. The racing's always close there for Lemons, which is extremely rare, but it is not an exciting.
Yeah, it
track.
uses part of the. It's got a speedway
Oval.
as well,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Two ovals, actually. One's in like a drift oval, and then the other one's an asphalt
Oh yeah.
oval. Based on the Ryan,
Somebody is way the hell off on the left there, by the way.
Hold it.
the Ryan Lewis model, it's not crap, but yes, it's awful. There is one shower there, and it's always taken over by a group of Polish people.
There's that group shower. Audubon Country Club.
Oh, totally not crap.
Yeah.
In fact,
Crap, I guess.
PRI's racing facility of the year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I've never raced there. I've only driven stuff around there. I've never raced there.
NCM Motorsports Park.
Kershaw, right?
No, NCM.
That's Corvette
Kentucky
Museum.
Corvette Museum. Yeah.
I have not driven it.
Scottish.
Really?
No, I haven't driven it.
I am shocked that you haven't driven that.
I
it's
just
not-
rode in
yeah.
a pace car around it, but I love
Dude,
it.
I don't race. I'm not very good. I don't race that much, do I? And all the
No.
I don't-
New career.
I don't work for GM,
Mhm.
so no other manufacturers really go to NCM.
Yeah,
so I
fair.
just haven't really had the
The time there.
Yeah, I just haven't had the opportunity to go, even though it's the third closest track to me technically.
Right. I'll ask this, but I already know the answer. Button Willow Raceway Park.
Crap. So crap. That was the first track I drove in the. That was my introduction to motorsport in the United States.
Oh my God! I'm
That was-
surprised you
came
didn't
from
rage
Europe
quit.
and
Yeah.
you went there. Oh
Yeah.
God!
Yeah, so I came.
No wonder
I came,
you're salty.
I came over to test an Atlantic car at the end of 2005.
Oh,
So I'd gone from British Formula 3, where I raced the Silverstone Grand Prix, Spa, Nürburgring, Monza, Castle Coombe.
Button Willow.
Yeah, and then go to Button Willow. Yeah, that was.
Oh my
that was-
God!
And it was like torrential rain on the first day as well.
Whoa!
Oh, so
it rained in
you
Button
spent
Willow?
you spent the
Yeah.
rest of it pulling 30 pounds of clay off your car after
What?
every.
Well, this is the weird thing. I was like, it's tipping it down with rain, but like in Europe, it's not really that big of a deal. So we sit there for like the first hour, and then I sheepishly am kind of like, so are we gonna like go out today? They're like, well, no, it's raining. I'm like, does it not rain during the racing season? They're like, well, not very much.
Button
Okay.
Willow, yeah.
Yeah, not at Button Willow. Yeah.
So eventually they did. They put the wheels on the thing. We went out, and I made it to through the first hairpin out of pit lane, then made it up to the chicane, and then the right front wheel came off. And then, so I hit the brakes, and the right front wheel came off, and bounced. Was behind the car, and then bounced in front of the
Over.
car, and then because it had been like torrential rain, all of that moon dust, the car just like sank
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
all of that dirt. And
I was
then
gonna say, if it like normally at Button Willow, it hasn't rained in months, so that wheel would have bounced all the way through Kern County.
Yeah, it would have gone. It would have made it to Bakersfield.
had it not rained, but yeah, it was that was
God.
that was an interesting thing. And then the team owner, they drove over to come drag the car out, but they couldn't get the car out because it was like hydro locked with all the wet mud. The floor, it was just like all the pods were full of it. It was bad. I had to get out of the car, and it's like up to above my ankles in mud. And then the team owner who's having a meltdown, he gets his car stuck in the mud as well. Like they fired the crew chief on the spot. I'm like, holy shit.
I had that. I ran Thunderhill, 25 hours of Thunderhill in 19. It was the same kind of deal. It had been raining for a week leading up, kept raining throughout the race, and by the end of the race, there was only one line. Everything else had hard packed clay onto the racing surface, and if it even got humid, it would become a skating rink.
Ooh.
It was challenging, but and as much as Button Willow is crap, it is like unofficially become my home track since I moved to Las Vegas, because it's 4 hours from here, and every organization I run with races there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is it checkered flag yet, or is this the last lap?
Yeah. Last lap.
This
here.
is
white flag lap.
Yeah.
And, it looks like Bear Pope is going to take it.
Also,
that.
Uncle Dave and Thomas Pyrek mainly disconnected.
And in I believe 6th place we have a Smith?
Ninth
Another
place.
Smith?
Ninth place. We decided 6th was bad.
Oh, that's right, because he
it's-
hates 6. He wanted
whoever was number
that's right.
6. Yeah.
I'm just going to turn my sheet of paper up. Yeah, now it's a 9.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
9.
6 to 9. See,
That's right. There you
Boom,
go.
that just happened.
It's
Yeah.
magic.
Yep.
because we're 12.
That's
I
right.
appreciate that whoever's in last place is named O-Ring also.
Yeah, Ethan O-Ring.
Pyrek blew his engine, so that's why he got it.
Oh, no.
All right.
Yeah. Here's Andy
yeah.
Warichka, 9th place.
Yeah, the very car, and of course we've got the lime and the coconut tribute on the nose of that car.
That's right. The Zach.
Goes all the way back to his friend. So that's
There you go.
that's great.
Here's our real winner crossing the start-finish line. Congratulations, Andy Warichka.
Drag racing time. Yeah.
And so begins the Demolition Derby, such
You
as
bet.
it is.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
somebody's already
hung in the fence.
The race
the winner. Yeah.
Yeah, the not winner.
Oh,
Chicken
kid.
something
Yeah.
or other.
All right, we got a Sitco being chased by a stank. Oh, there it is. That's right. Yeet Fest is always turn 2 on this one because you can get a great launch over the hill.
It's like F3 Euro Series when Lance Stroll
Yes.
was racing in it.
Oh.
Oh,
Got
look at that.
Side-
Nice little
side
flip.
slam.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because that was around the time I was a motorsports journalist. So I was watching F3 at the time that Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll were racing each other in F3, and they just about murdered each other every weekend.
Yeah,
pretty
and
great.
wasn't Massey the FIA steward then as well?
I believe that's right, and he just
He
kind of
was
let
in
him
the
go
junior
at it.
series.
So
Yeah, he was the junior series steward during that as well, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, it did nothing. There was no policing of it. Which
Yeah, I
is
remember.
weird.
Yeah.
I think it was at Spa. There were 4 wide, and all 4 cars got taken out, and it was because of the 2 of them being morons. So
But you could talk about Drew being about safety, but it has nothing to do with safety. What it has to do about is ship and money, and those guys being idiots kept people interested in F3, and they all knew it.
well, what they really needed to do was turn F3 cars into NFTs. So you have NFTs.
Well,
All right.
And that's a callback.
Gotta
That's a
go.
comedy thing. That's why this is brilliant here.
there is a bit of an issue with safety
then-
though, because if wealthy people's children keep getting killed or hurt motor racing, there's going to be less wealthy people willing to let their kids go racing, which is
So what
pretty
is
much
currently
how,
sustaining it at the moment.
which is
so.
how the whole House of Cards is propped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why in the last 20 years or so, because racing has become so much safer, there's far more people willing to spend a load of dough for their kids to go racing. It's almost
This is a perfect time to point out that everybody in the picture is either dead or dying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And none of them are rich.
certainly not.
Quite poor. All right, come on.
But we're
let's
rich-
get to
rich
the
in-
drag strip.
rich in friendship,
Yes, we are
That's
rich in
right.
friendship.
and camaraderie.
And usually Yinglings
God.
pulled out of a cooler.
Yeah. So, but
Best Yinglings were the friends we made along the way.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have to do this stuff anymore. Just get me to the drag strip. That's where I'm going.
You sound like you were in the middle of a
They're
question
not on the
there,
drag
Ryan.
strip. They're in 2. They're in 2.
Yeet.
But I do want to do the drag strip, though. So I'm
Bing
going.
bong.
Boom! Oh,
that was
he
a really
gets
good
a
one.
barrel roll out of that one. Very nice.
Well done. And he ended up on top of that hill, which is no small feat. Very well done. It's
All
done,
right.
Granny.
This does
I'm at the
remind me.
drag strip.
I did pitch Road and Track on sending me to compete in a spectator drags at a.
Oh, in Maine? Please do that.
Yeah, there's one in Maine that's like the.
It's always on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, Seekonk Speedway.
So we.
There's always like a
podcast.
Dodge Ram hitting a Chevy Impala, and then there's a fight, and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
My podcast is media partners with Racing Junk, and that Speedway is one of them, and we are begging them to get us in touch with the manager because we so want to go cover that. For exactly that reason. The spectator tracks around a paved oval is and one of our teammates is an insurance guy. It makes him quiver and cry a little bit every time we bring it up, but the rest of us think it's all brilliant.
So what's his explanation for this? Because I have liability insurance for my business, which is crushingly expensive. So I don't.
He doesn't care what the explanation is. He's just in the insurance industry. He's like, as an insurance professional, I don't see how this place exists, but I don't care.
I can't fathom it. I don't understand how they get away with it. Unless they just don't have insurance, I guess, right? But I don't know how. I don't know how they would have. I don't know how it works. It's kind of crazy. Another incredible thing about this country is that you could not do that pretty much in any other country on planet Earth. Like stuff like that just doesn't exist.
I was in Africa for a while, and I'm pretty sure they let you do anything.
Or Russia,
where motorsport is.
Absolutely.
A bigger, like in Europe, no chance.
No,
maybe Italy, because I've seen something recently where they race legends on like go-kart tracks, and there's a Joker lap.
Good gosh.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's so, and you have to do you have to down 3 cappuccinos before you get in the car.
Yes. And be as agitated as possible when you get out of the car.
All right, Sandy, you may step into the audience. Here we go. Whee! I'm out of the game.
Oh.
I will tell you, by the way, that Lemons HQ has 3 favorite motorsports that we watch regularly, and one of them is the spectator drags from Maine. 1990s British touring car racing, which is the pinnacle of road racing.
BTCC,
and highlight reels of drag racing where there's always some fat dude in a 4-wheeler and somebody shouting, "Clear the lanes! Clear the lanes!" Those are what we watch at Lemons HQ, but the spectator drags is, up there, super up there. So
I got trapped in an elevator with John Force once.
Oh man! He's intense.
Loud.
That guy is a lot. I stumped him during an interview once.
Oh really?
I was writing for Roadkill at the time, and it was at PRI, so he was in full like John Force mode, like I'm doing the PR thing, so I have my personality switched on and I'm loud and the whole thing. And so I'm getting the whole shtick from him. I was at the launch for Brittany's Top Fuel sponsorship or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But so I'm there and I'm talking to him and I ask him about his very first car. And I was just like, "What was your first car, John?" And he just stops, like dead stops, like his brain is like clicking over, like holy crap, like I'm supposed to be talking about advanced auto parts, like what is this dude asking me for? And then like he gets all wistful and starts talking about like how he lived out of this oh Christ, what was it? Like a 53 Chevy.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it was like something out of Kenosha.
No, it was like a super crappy 53 Chevy, and like, he kept his football helmet in it, and he like starts telling me all these stories about like being like, 14 and having a 53 Chevy because nobody was checking driver's licenses, and I was just like, it was totally like this weird, like, and he's quiet, like he's like quietly like reminiscing. It was the most bizarre like John Force experience anybody has had ever.
You broke John Force.
I broke John Force. Yeah,
that is
at his race shop.
You never cease to amaze me. You do things like that. You bury the lead. You broke John Force. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great, but I can't imagine being in an elevator with him because the dude's just constantly talking. There's no.
He's not a small person.
He's not tall, but he's not.
No, he's
small.
not tall. He's not tall. No.
Thick.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's thick with 2 C's.
Corn-fed is a phrase we like to use here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his shop's just outside of Indy, so you must run into all kinds of racing people all the time.
No, not really.
No.
He avoids them.
I don't. I see like the people.
You got
that
your
I'm
people.
people I'm friendly with. I'll see very often, but like fairly often. But it drops off pretty drastically after that. I'm busy.
My brother-in-law is involved in the music industry in Nashville, and he talks about, because they're always having to go to these events and they're always in the public eye, and if you're in the industry, you'd never know who he is. But he says when they don't want to be bothered, they all go to Chili's. And if they see each other at Chili's, they will not talk. They'll look, make eye contact, and immediately go back to their Bourbon Street steak or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're just, because they're there in the town and things always out music all the time, and they get to this point where they don't want to be bothered.
Just want my chicken crispers and to be left alone, eh?
That's right. Yeah.
I understand.
I totally understand that too. Yeah. I mean,
My God, the one-liners that are coming out of tonight are fucking great.
Yeah.
well, you dropped the first F-bomb of the night, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't.
Hey, that's the first one on the Lemons Twitch,
On the Twitch
channel in general.
That's right, yeah.
God damn, I am a born winner.
Congrats, Randy. That was item 3 on your list now, wasn't it? Drop the first F-bomb on the Twitch channel.
Oh, dear.
Well done. Very well done.
Congrats. So we got one more race coming up here. It's a short rallycross with Camaros. That's Camaro with an E, if you're unfamiliar.
And don't start trying to correct us, because
No,
we're right.
I mean, 12 million Craigslist sellers can't be wrong. So
I remember when you did that video, everyone got bent out of shape in the comments, and we're trying to correct your spelling. And
it's Camaro with an E, man.
And then of course some other people are going, it's a joke, but then there was a small contingent, and unfortunately I recognized most of the names of people going, no, if you look at the history of motors, it's absolutely with an E. You are wrong, good sir. You've been lied to your whole life. Camaro is spelled with an E.
Man. Oh, looks like Lady Auburn brought some people. Well done, Cam.
That's our first appearance of Gunther tonight as well.
Indeed.
We had not seen her. We had not seen Gunther all night.
Guys,
by the way,
I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna go drink a beer and try and.
Well, I'm shocked you haven't been drinking a beer the whole time.
I did. I brought one down with me and I finished, and I ended up getting distracted and not going and getting another one. So.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. And I will be emailing you, and I need you to come to a Lemons race and yell at bad drivers with me.
You really should. I think it will restore your faith in what racing can be.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be willing to host kind of a kangaroo court kind of thing. If anyone wants to level grievances or anything like that.
See, you've already got the right attitude. You're going to be fantastic.
Can I drink if I'm judging?
Not
while
during
the track
race,
is hot.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is they will bring you alcohol. You don't have to buy any of it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
It would be along those lines. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right,
well, thanks so much for being here, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Coming out.
You're always welcome.
I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys soon. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Take it easy. Ryan Lewis, everybody.
Absolutely.
Ryan Lewis.
Check at Ryan Lewis Racing on all social medias, and of course the website RyanLewisRace.com, because he had to sell the RyanLewis.com website to Ryan Lewis.
Yes.
Didn't have to, just made him pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups, by the way, to Nate Schleveen for recommending Ryan. He was a hell of a guest. God damn, that was amazing.
Yes. Very, very good, very interesting, very fun. Yeah. And he clearly got it. Benjamin Fields already with a flat. I don't know how that happened. Oh, that's right. He just took a dirt track car into a rallycross course. It'd be fantastic.
Right. So we have an 18-minute rallycross here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Rallycross with street stocks, which
Because
look
it's totally the thing to
spectacular
do.
flying. And
Actually, these are dirt street stocks. This isn't that far off. They should be okay as long as they don't have to turn. Oh, wait.
They do that.
The setup, I believe, is fixed for turning right. Also, I have no idea what the setup is.
Yeah,
but everybody's been
turning
so.
right is a suggestion.
We haven't heard from the man himself, Mr. Bauer. I see 16 cars. We got 30 seconds left in this warm-up. You want to pick between 1 and 16?
Let's go with 7.
7 it is.
Lucky 7.
Boom. Hey, by the way, have you always needed an excuse to hurl insults at your neighbor while you cut down that dying tree that he just won't? Well, there's no time like the present with Gold Limited Edition Mad Dog 2020. Throw down some pineapple-flavored fortified wine and get ready for a headache tomorrow, because sacrificing the future for the present, well, that's the 2020 zeitgeist. Remember, it's an election year, so Mad Dog 2020 in 2022.
For Senate.
These shields are getting way out of hand.
It's a perfect compliment to your Jeff Gordon's fish sticks.
That's right. Always trust Jeff Gordon's fishermen.
That's right. Man,
All right,
I
we're
wrote
grading
that.
up.
I wrote that 15 minutes before we went live. I just want everybody to know that I'm a master procrastinator, which is harder to
honestly
say
thought
after 3 beers.
I thought you ad-libbed it. I really thought that would have just come straight out of your mouth. Like
No. The ad lib comes this, which is Stellantis, the cure for common sense. And I was supposed to dump a bunch of stuff in there after that during the race because, as it turns out, the Pontiac Solstice shares a platform with the Opel GT of the time, and Opel is now part of Stellantis, thereby making a Pontiac Solstice a part of Stellantis.
You got to be careful about that, Eric, because you start saying stuff like that, and all these solstices will show up, and we all know that every solstice easily runs away with a race, $500 my ass, and they're ruining limits.
Look at this. Look at this shot.
Carnage before
how
they're on the track. Before they're on the track, this is a brilliant shot, actually. Though that's that bearded sim racer brilliance, and we've already got a flat tire. This is going to be great. Man, we've got a lap
I was
so
technical
far.
director for iRacing Rallycross, so I've had some practice.
Oh, that was so good, man. And a whole bunch of Camaros flying over the jump.
Dukes of Hazzard, baby.
So good.
That was actually surprisingly well
Ed
balanced.
Smith's done some
There.
practice here, I think.
Yes.
So
All right.
good.
Good old boy.
Somebody are in a Joker there.
Never
Okay.
been no home.
Not all the Smiths, but one of the Smiths
Yes.
taking that
best
Joker. All right. And I don't know if you know this, but they've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
That's right.
So good.
But don't forget to also get some insurance on that. And where do we get that insurance?
Somebody in the wall there. Oh, I like that. Dave
Oh, yes.
Carpenter. I love the spray painted number on there. His numbers are hard. The Barber recap will be coming out soon, but we had car 720 get repeatedly went off at Barber, and car 72 got flagged because 720's numbers were real bad. So numbers still real hard, as it turns out.
Yes, the numbers are hard.
It's not me. That's an overnight re-theme right there. Just
That's right.
totally not me, man.
Somebody else. Always somebody else. Ed Smith, you got to work on the livery a little bit. I mean, the Ferrari for Jay Goldberg Camaro is pretty
That's
great.
pretty spectacular. Tyler Stank's got an Audi Quattro livery going on there. If we can-
well,
That's
check it
right.
out.
Yeah, I showed that off earlier in our Discord.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
there's Mr. Stank. Yes.
He's Walter rolling Michelle Multoling on the rally.
That's pretty great.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Oh,
Buzzing Hornist. I drove Tyler Stang to the airport after Barber, where he had become, by the way, the first Lemons racer, probably the first racer of all time to road race the Ford Ranger, Chevy S10, and a Dodge Dakota. So very well done, Tyler Stang.
Domestic.
he did tell me that was going to be a possibility. I'm glad he actually managed to pull that one off.
He did manage to pull it off. I think he only got a handful of laps in the Dakota, which with an AMC 4-cylinder wasn't running great. I know that's a shock, but it ran well enough to get a few laps in, and one of one.
As that team said the first time they brought that truck out, they're like, "Oh, we brought a Lemons to an auto race, and everybody else brought race cars."
Yeah. Well, I have your trophy.
Such a great team.
I have your trophy that they repurposed for me. Also,
I think it's got your name on it. I'm pretty sure.
In the
that's your
laziest
trophy.
way possible, with white out because they thought you were going to be at the race. So it shows me where I stand, but I'm okay with that. As discussed with Ryan Lewis,
you were more enthusiastic about that Dakota when it first showed up than I was. You're like, oh my God, is it the actual AMC? And then they pop the hood, and you're like, oh, you have a plastic intake. You guys are going to do awesome. Oh, right into the door of number 13. Get out of the way. Got some pork and beans coming through, pal.
Yeah. Get those beans.
Mr. Kelly.
Nick Schlavine, his VR headset exploded about 9 feet into the race. So that's for Nate's.
Well, like Mike Snyder's car at the end of the Xfinity race earlier this evening.
I didn't catch it. I heard it was quite the ending. So.
Oh yeah, I won't spoil it, but it was brutal.
I don't think we're going to go back and watch it. I'm just going to let you know that when they're Lady A.
That's how I do NASCAR. Is unless I need a nap, I don't put it on, and I'll catch the highlights if it's something great. So I usually attempt to watch the road races, but I still fall asleep in the middle of them. Unless it's raining. If it's raining and they are road racing in a NASCAR, that is absolutely can't miss TV.
And I love it on the occasion when they get that Australian guy who normally does World Superbike because he is so excitable. Yeah. They're coming through right into 10-1. Oh my God, this could be the end of it. Oh no, dear Lord, right now it's a yellow flag, but they're still coming. Yeah, it's fantastic. He's pretty well done. All right, 12 minutes left in this 18-minute race. And Goldberg himself in a Ferrari is 1.3 seconds ahead. Looks like Mr. Bird may have just spun or done something because he's opening up that gap. And the Wartburger thief himself, 8 seconds behind, cancer survivor Aaron Lehman.
Yeah!
Okay, go Aaron.
Go Aaron.
Good dudes. Good dudes.
Yep. And as soon as we do throw the checkered flag on this one, I am going to have to depart. The missus is ready, and it is date night, and I am getting the you don't appear to be getting ready look. So as much as I like all of you, she can hurt me. So gotta get my priorities.
Understood.
Well, it's been a good evening, so I appreciate the full broadcast team being here. It's been highly entertaining. This is a top fiver for us.
Oh yeah, this is top notch, top shelf stuff.
Well, we're going to launch the Twitch channel. We got to do it right.
I don't think I'm wrong in suggesting that Ryan Lewis is tailor-made for being a Lemons judge. So I'm going to be working on making that happen in the interim. So
absolutely, he's smart, he's experienced, he's angry and bitter. He will just be perfect.
He's got the right amount of wit and understanding to make people feel really bad about their choices, and that's really what it's all about.
And I want to be there. I would actually almost pay admission for the first of the real racers who comes in there and starts trying to quote another organization's rules, and that's why he should have been allowed to do this.
Well,
and
I will tell you,
it's going to get funny.
We've only had we've had a couple of pro racers judge before, and it's always so good. And the best of them was Sarah Montgomery, who is a 24 or 25-year-old woman. So you get this guy who's raised in SCCA for like 30 years and obviously knows, and suddenly some girl's talking to him.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that she's got, a big head of flaming orange hair or red hair. She is a,
Well, it was great. Her persona was very sweet and, patient because she's used to coaching Porsche douchebags, as I was alluding to earlier. But, you know, you would get some guy who would give her some generic racing excuse and then, you know, kind of halfway talk down to her. And she would just kind of do the, bless your heart, which if you're from the South, is like stabbing someone and twisting a knife. It is the most insulting. You think you're the smartest guy here, but you're kind of really not at all in a remote way. And it was just the most disarming thing.
Yeah.
So,
otherwise, you would know that you're talking to the only woman to stand on a podium in the history of the MX-5 Cup.
Yeah, it was spectacular. And she enjoyed the experience as well because she got to say all the things that racers really want to say to people when you just can't. So
I got to work with her for a couple of years. We would both teach us with a couple of other folks would teach the Drive Strong Teen Survival Clinic at Atlanta Motorsports
which is
Park.
great. Absolutely spectacular. I'm glad that exists. That's a really good program.
BMW would every 3 months would send us a fleet of new 3 Series.
Yep. Yeah, no, Sarah's great, and I can't say enough great things about her. She is a consummate professional, and very, very funny. She is.
She is very funny.
She is hilarious. Yeah, very dry wit.
Which is probably why you two guys got along. You were probably sitting there just back and forth with, no laugh track. And if I'd have been there, I'd have been holding my sides, laying on the ground.
Yeah, we judged with, there's a Brewster Baker theme there from Aaron.
Oh.
Also.
All right, there we go. All right, putting some, because he was getting a little belligerent about boring themes, and this is a well done theme here.
Pretty good, yeah.
He found it, I imagine, but it's still a good thing.
I'm still all about it. You have made an attempt. An attempt has been made.
Of course, I don't think the movie that launched Michael Anthony Hall's career.
Yes. I don't think we've used the dirt street stocks very often, so it's a new paint scheme for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. We've got some standard generic issued Trans Ams, and then there's the number 13 is just a red car, which is painfully boring. But
Ryan, did you say 7? By the way, my memory not so great.
He did. I wrote it down.
7.
Number 7.
Excellent. All right.
Which we've just got over 7 minutes left in this final race of the second race of the Lemons iSucket Racing Series. Just enough time to remind you that this is all brought to you by Top Flight Computers. Everything you're seeing on the screen, Top Flight Computers. And of course, Bearded Sim Racing. Watch them on your social medias. Check out all the stuff that Ryan is doing all around the world in the realm of iRacing. Our friends over at the Faith Insurance Agency, Yokohama Tires. We don't know why they're the official tires of Lemons, but we love that they are.
That's right.
Check out 24hoursoflemons.com. And if you're really bored, every Thursday, there's a new podcast from the world's leading amateur endurance racing podcast, Everyone Racers.
Well done. Good read. I had a point and I lost it. Sounds also correct. So
I think look in that second beer can because it was probably about halfway through that.
Third. Yeah.
Third.
Yeah, no. I know you're on your third. I'm saying you lost it halfway through the second one.
Somebody's been counting Pop Tops. Fair enough.
Actually, you said you're on your third beer. I'm just being a nice ass. I am really impressed at how well these dirt street stocks are taking this jump.
It's kind of great. Everything about this is great. It is everything that 16-year-old me who couldn't have a Camaro would ever have dreamt of. Them Duke boys.
Oh, absolutely.
There it is, right there.
All I need is the entire Van Halen album collection on cassette.
Oh yeah.
A good old-fashioned, realistic tape deck, and a set of 6x9s in the rear package tray. There
Let's be frank here. Do we need more Van Halen than Van Halen?
And the cradle will rock.
I was just about to say, do we need more Van Halen than Van Halen 1 and 2? Because I think that pretty much on repeat covers the bases.
I think
I'm
Fair
prepared to
Warning's a
give that
good
to
album
you.
too.
Yeah. Which one had Eruption on it? I should know, but I don't.
That's the first one. Yeah, it's
Okay,
the
yeah,
very
then
first Van Halen song.
Then we're covered. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
1 and 2 are where it's at. Come fight me if you disagree. Let me know in the comments
Yeah.
if you're a Van Hagar fan and you're wrong. So,
Or
yeah,
the other
Bitch, I'm
band.
about to throw hands.
Oh, we got a Van Hagar fan.
all right, let's do this. Come on, you got
All right.
OU 812 or what are we doing here?
They're very different bands because
They are.
Because
No.
Dreams is fucking-tastic, but it's absolutely like it couldn't have been done the other way around.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Yeah. I'll accept that the biggest mistake they made was just keeping the band named Van Halen. They should have just completely named it something else, and they would have been, everyone would have loved them. But yeah, since then they had to get compared to, same thing. Like no one says, "Oh, Power Station was much better than Duran Duran,"
Right.
because they
Of course,
weren't.
yeah.
Because Duran
Yeah.
Duran is awesome. Which
That's right.
Duran Duran just released a new album 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that on your
Look.
Facebook earlier, I think.
I don't need to engage with people in the comments when they're wrong very often, but Van Halen 3
I see
is
it,
not
yeah.
okay. It is not okay. And I'm sorry, Sean Westerman. I'm sure you're a nice guy, and all of your other opinions are correct. But the Gary Sharon version of Van Halen
Yeah.
was very incorrect.
Van Sharon.
Where do you
Not great.
fall on Diver Down?
Diver Down. What is on Diver Down?
Dancing in the Streets. Damn it, I'm trying to remember.
Was Cradle
I
of
remember
Rock
I had it on vinyl.
Dance on the Streets is like... All right, I'm looking it up because I have to do this.
Yeah, it's fair.
Field season
track
7.
listing. You know what? It had Dance in the Streets and the cover of Oh Pretty Woman, which, I mean, anytime David Lee Roth sings a classic song, it's somehow the worst and best cover of it ever be written. You
That's why
really
it's
got
Diamond
me.
Dave.
And if anyone disagrees,
just
go
Jug
find the video for Gigolo. Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
Just gigolo.
And Happy Trails closes it out, and it's a really good bad cover of it. So I'll accept Diver Down. I think David Lee Roth, Van Halen, like a lot of bands, was at their absolute best in their first album because they had the most time to write it, right?
Yeah.
Like you when you're making a band and doing all of the things that come with making a band work, you come up with it's like a comedian coming up with his good five.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw
Yeah, the
out
first
there.
one. The original Dennis Leary, No Cure for Cancer, for example. Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
So your first album is your tight five, basically, and then like, oh wow, that was a hit. Shit, what do we do now? Like, oh god.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, Van Halen 1, it's front to back, killer. And then it was like, David Lee Roth is on a bunch of cocaine all the time. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this works. And, it's kind of hit or miss until he left. So.
Now, and there are handfuls of exceptions, because I would argue that Def Leppard's Pyromania was way better than High and Dry. But that was considered their first big album, and then everything else had to start coming out on a fairly regular schedule after that. And while good, never really captured that first, oh, goodness, Mr. Goldberg completely screws it up. And,
E.G. Bird looks like he snuck around him.
Yeah. I think the Hesser got him too. I could be wrong. And of course the Stank, but I don't know how far back Stank is. Yeah, and then
455 is Tom Pyrek up in there,
course,
who's gonna screw it all up.
Oh, there it is.
On stage.
We have a race.
There's a Hesser.
It's funny, wasn't it Ryan Lewis moments ago talking about how the biggest factor in any kind of race is traffic? It's just like the dude was seeing the future.
Sometimes you just gotta push some folks around and let them know what time it is.
Yep.
My God, we
Miller
have
time.
to have him back.
I agree entirely.
I mean, if you
I
are
just
going
wanna
to
set-
celebrate
I wanna
those
set
means,
him-
try and keep it slightly more masculine on a screaming point. You guys detached one arm from the steering wheel in order to fist pump and scream.
God, yes.
So you can find this again if you go find Ryan Lewis Racing's YouTube channel. Nate Schleveen sent him a video from Gingerman of him winning Class B, and it's 2 in-car videos synced up, and Ryan gives the commentary on it, and it is the best 10 minutes on YouTube, I think. It is absolutely hilarious, and also contains incredible endurance racing advice also, which is it's like a twofer in there. So
And if you're watching this, it just showed up in the YouTube comments courtesy of Mr. Rude himself. So there's a link.
well, it was actually Ryan.
And now I
We're into
just
the
got
crash
the reference
section.
on the. Did you notice the license plate?
Nervous.
Yes. Oh, it's straight up Ferris Bueller.
That's right.
Bueller.
Oh,
Bueller.
fantastic Ferrari reference. Well done.
We
It's
have
on
made
two
it to the
levels.
crash section, as we all should. Jay Goldberg, your winner. But your real winner?
It's
We got to wait till
Dave.
it comes back around. Oh, is Uncle Dave got 7th?
Uncle
Uncle
Dave. in 7th
Dave.
place. Well done, Dave
Fantastic.
Carpenter.
All right.
With the spray painted numbers. So well.
Yeah, that's how it's done. America.
Numbers are hard, winning is harder. I think
Yes.
that's and as Stunt Granny points out, the real winners are everybody who's tuned in. So thank you for being with us on a Saturday night. I know
Yes.
a lot of people have things to do on Saturday, so we appreciate you guys spending a couple hours with us as we go through the inane rote of 24 hours of Lemons iRacing. With whatever it is we're doing, we're still not totally sure.
Yeah.
But
Mental.
folks, yes, get yourself to the 24 Hours of Lemons. Check out a race. Check out their YouTube. There is a classic Lemons World video coming out very soon. I get to sneak preview those, and it's really, really good. I must depart, you fine folks, because it is date night, but this was absolutely worth it. So thanks for having me, Ryan. Thanks for having me, Eric. Always great to see you, Randy. Always great to see you, Lady A.
Yep.
You all folks have a safe time, and we're going to see you next month, March, what is it, 16th?
16. Yep.
You got it.
16th. So we all look forward to that. So
We'll see you,
be
Mental.
safe,
Take it
be
easy,
nice
brother.
to everybody. All right.
Enjoy date night.
Yeah, have
Multiple.
fun.
Yeah, enjoy
Good
dinner.
night.
Have a good one.
All right. And boy, just before we check out, upcoming events for Lemons as we get a car getting a run up. March 4th through 6th, the Southern Fried Heaps Lemons Rally. Plenty of room in there. March 5th, the Amelia Island Concours de Lemons Car Show. Only a few spots left. Get in there as soon as you can. March 12th through 13th is the Yokohama Sears Pointless Race we have at Sonoma Raceway, which we preview tonight as 2 people die on screen.
Yeah.
And March 26th through 27th is the Can't Get By You race at NOLA Motorsports Park. And of course, as Mental referenced, March 16th, which is a Wednesday evening, we are back here for Roller Derby, a double header with no pedal, no wheel. So get your pickles warmed up for next March.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Lady A. It was fantastic to have you here, as it always is.
Thank you, Eric. It was a pleasure being here, driving around, getting smacked around, and actually getting to do a run on the drag strip at Sonoma.
It's as good as it can be, right? And thank you for
Yes.
heeding the call, Randy Bish, and getting the 3 things from your list into the broadcast.
I am just stunned at how well everything went tonight. Like everything was 10/10s fantastic. Like hot damn. God bless us, everyone.
Yes.
Making it 10/10s fantastic
Oh,
is
double
Boris.
tap.
Oh, ouchie.
That was excellent. Wow.
We need to go out on that as brought to us exactly by the guy who made it 10/10s all night. Ryan Bauer, the bearded sim racer, makes all of this so photogenic, and we can't thank him enough for it. And Nate Schleveen for designing this entire madness. This is Lemon's iRacing. Joined it on isuckatracing.com. I got nothing else to say. I'm Eric Rude. This has been the best Saturday night of iRacing I've had ever. Hands down.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, Porter.
Woo!
All right, we'll see you guys on March 16th. We'll be right back here.
Good night, everyone.
God bless.
America.
Gobbles.
And gobbles.
Gobbles.